Good evening, everyone, and welcome back for more West of Loathing. Let me just finish shooting all of this stuff here, and we'll begin tonight's adventure. Just as a reminder, this is part of my No Left Thumb challenge, which has incidentally been caused by me being an idiot. So my left arm is currently in a brace, and it will be in a brace for about 6 weeks. So I'm stuck with this, and having to try to play video games without using my left thumb until such time as I get better. Hooray for me and my idiocy. Speaking of my idiocy, yes, I am still wearing this crown of gold teeth. Because why wouldn't I? Now, I do admit, there's not a heck of a lot for us to do at this point. But if we go talk to Susie, I said if we go talk to Susie, she'll tell us about Frisco, but no more ideas for side dalliances. Now, to be fair, we still haven't completed the Hellcow or El Vibrato quests, but we're actually pretty close to finishing both of those. Yandere-chan whinnies as you approach. Give her some peanut butter. Hello, my friend. It sure is uncanny how it looks like you're actually speaking. You've been a very good friend. Would you like to know the great big secret about the nature of the afterlife? Aw, gosh, buddy. Well, yeah. Okay, sure, lay it on me. Basically, there's no God, and no one is in charge. It's pretty much anarchy back there, albeit sleepy, vague anarchy, where everyone just sort of wanders around. I mean, around. Well, that's good to know, and by good I mean weird. Thanks. Gain 500 XP. I think that's it's 100 normally, 500 if you have the Friend of Horses perk that you got, or that I got earlier. Anyway, let's go. Still some stuff that I need to do. Start out going to Snake Spring. I think this is the last location. Yeah, this should be the last location that has something new based on the El Vibrato, or the key-shaped El Vibrato device. So it's got one of those things. Key-shaped El Vibrato device hums as you approach the floating window and peer through. It opens onto the incredibly brightly lit interior of a building. A sign on the far wall reads, Snake Springs Plumbing Supply, established 1925. And a sign on a nearby bin full of toilet plungers says, plungers, 45,000 meat each. That's exorbitant. They're not even special solid gold toilet plungers or anything like that. Just regular plungers. Grab one. You got an item? Plunger. Strange. Nothing but static on the other side of the window. So that plunger, you finally found the other kind of plunger. So it's a recurring joke, I suppose, from Orhole Mine, where it was telling you that, floor 1 had blasting caps, floor 2 had plungers, both kinds, floor 3 had tools. Well, it turns out floor 2 only had one kind of plunger, and we finally found the second kind. It's a halfway decent weapon, dealing 18 to 20 stench damage and applying 10 poison damage. Sell value is pretty high. Now, it's no 45,000 meat, But sell value of 1,100 meat's not bad. Anyway, that's about it for here. So I am going to go off to... where is... the Curious Abandoned Well. Because it pays to dwell on these sorts of things. Actually, a few things that I can do here that I haven't. So let's see, right now this takes us here. And this is the one that teaches us the numbers, right? And it's got an education terminal, so we'll put in some more large punch cards if memory serves. Right, I have nothing else to learn from either kind of card. Alright, good. So I've learned all of the El Vibrato stuff. Well, all of the El Vibrato language. But there's also other places that this teleporter can go. So, current teleporter destination education facility. What if I want to go to drone fabrication? Well, and that takes me here. And there's a big button on the little pedestal, press it. And it gives you a construct, so you can fight it. It's not as... What's the word I'm looking for? It's not as grindy as the facility at Lost Dutch Oven Mine. It'll build some slightly more complicated robots, but nothing too serious. Right, it's like this, so you can technically do a little grinding if you want to, but you don't have to. I mean, I certainly don't. I mean, I really don't need any El Vibrato punch cards at the moment either. So that's drone fabrication, which doesn't actually do anything for you. Equipment fabrication takes you here, and you can insert a battery, gain XP, and energized. And you can equip it, or you can get a El Vibrato ring and an El Vibrato brooch. So that other one had clothing, right? So you could get the El Vibrato headgear, the helmet, the El Vibrato headband, so the antipsychotic headgear, the pants, and the boots. This lets you get some more equipment with your El Vibrato. So the brooch is okay, plus 11 armor. El Vibrato ring makes El Vibrato encounters more likely. So neither of these are great, but you can make them. Neither of those are what's important, though. What's actually important here is secondary storage. And in secondary storage, you get, a couple of El Vibrato caches. You get El Vibrato battery, El Vibrato fluid, and some El Vibrato seltzer from there, and some El Vibrato scraps. But most importantly is a weird device. A whining El Vibrato object. And it's whining because I moved it. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay here on this pedestal. This dome-shaped El Vibrato machine of unknown purpose, unless this isn't dome-shaped El Vibrato machine of unknown purpose, unless its purpose is to make an incessant whining noise, in which case its purpose is both known and very annoying. Professor would be interested in this. Very good. And then there's one more thing to do, which is auditory nuisance container. So you'd think that the whining El Vibrato device would be the auditory nuisance, but let's see what this auditory nuisance containment is. this thing's just booping. So apparently this is the auditory nuisance. It's a booping machine. No, false, not true. I mean, I find this to be a more pleasant noise than whining would be, so yes, Snowy, you're right. Auditory nuisance seems a little bit off. Anyway, this says select nuisance destination. Single button labeled select. Press it. Let's see. Tell it to go south 0, east 0. Corrupted. So destination is corrupted. South destination adjustment. What? Alright, so let's try those. So it said do 5 and 3. So I did 5 and 3. The terminal beeps and the boopy floating guy behind you disappears in a puff of glowing squares. I'm the auditory nuisance. Oh, that makes sense, Snowy. Yes, I am in fact the auditory nuisance. I have been the whole time. I guess this means I can't leave this containment field. But that device sure did, and I wonder where he went. But that's about everything that I wanted to do in this curious abandoned well. Because the only thing that I had used it for up to this point, because I forgot that teleporter could go other locations, was to learn more El Vibrato words. Wordses are good. Now, I'm off to the old millinery. Yeah, that one. Because there's also something here. I remember that I was gonna go into the office, but I never did. So I went into the office, and there's a safe in here, and I now have safe cracking. You can get the prototype Stetson, and for just being a prototype, this is not bad. Right, this hat never made it to market. The public just wasn't ready for such a wide brim. Keep in mind, this is as good as my turnip crown. Only requires safe Kraken 2. And to get the modifications that I had to my turnip crown, because my turnip crown is now more powerful than this prototype Stetson, but that's only because I got it silver plated, and I put the Frisco skin, the Frisco Viper skin on it. So it started out with the same base stats as this prototype Stetson. Right, that's how it ended up as +6 and then +1 AP. So that's a pretty good hat for the point in the game where you should be getting to the to that group of peoples. But you may not have safe Kraken 2, so don't forget to go back there and grab that, because that's a good hat. Onward to the Professor's hat. Professor's house. Second's the second of a conscious soul. What? Alright. So, Professor, I have another device for you. Show him the whining object, which is me, or maybe it's lost as Edgeworth. I found an annoying whining drone. Wow, that is annoying, isn't it? I hope that goes away when I fix it. What is it? Aha! Well, unless I miss my guess, you'll find this very handy. How's that? Well, I believe it's for manufacturing a variety of fighting tools. And presumably they're helpful ones. Otherwise, why bother, am I right? So now, in addition to fabricating keys, fabricating batteries, we can also fabricate weapons. So, this machine turns El Vibrato scrap into single-use combat items. That's what the professor said, and I'm confirming it for you. A little note on the side where he describes the different things you can make with it. You can make a grenade, which you assume blows shit up. You can make something called a maintenance teleporter, which the professor says will banish any hostile El Vibrato construct. You can make an autonomous construct that will help you win fights by hurting your enemies, or one that can help you win fights by healing you and your allies. I'll make a grenade. You drop scrap into the funnel, and machine whirs, little door slides open, revealing a grenade, which luckily is not primed to explode. I'll make an assault drone or two also. With that, you had, well, okay, just one. You no longer have enough El Vibrato scrap to do anything with the machine. Dang it! But alright. So, from the curious abandoned well, we sent that thing pretty far south and a little bit east. Let's check dirt water, on the offhand chance, because I'm curious. Alright, here in dirt water, we go back to the Jewel Saloon. And if we go to the stage, yup, that bleepin' or boopin' El Vibrato device is in fact a member of the Dirt Water Band. It is the fourth member of the Dirt Water Band, along with the washboard, the guitar, and the jaw harp. And the cowbell. Snowy is right, I am definitely the auditory nuisance. Okie dokie. So that's some quick side quest stuff taken care of. Just because it's a few things that I missed that were sort of important. Let's stop by the Hellstorm Ranch. I want to check something. For actual story purpose. Well, major side quest purposes. Ah! It's a portal to hell. You hear ominous mooing. Now I have the option to scatter Cow's Bane. So there is a circle of Cow's Bane here now. And if I go to this bell, I can ring it normally, which would summon Hellcows to fight. But remember that last time I made that I found that infernal mallet while I was wandering around the Hellstorm Ranch with that Cowruption perk. So if I ring that bell with the mallet, let's see what happens. Who dares summon Duke Bovicus, and why can't Duke Bovicus move? Well, hello, Duke Bovicus. So, if you tried to summon Duke Bovicus over here, and you did not have Cow's Bane on the ground, no matter how powerful your stats, no matter how strong you are, Duke Bovicus will knock you the fuck out, and you'll wake up in your room at the Jewel Saloon. With, you know, again, just like it's a new day, just like you lost a fight. You cannot fight, there is no option to fight Duke Bovicus. You have to trap him with the Cow's Bane, so that's why, like I said, I want to say the past few episodes, or the past few streams, don't give Barnaby Bob the Cow's Bane seeds. Don't give him the bale of Cow's Bane that you make. Because otherwise you will not be able to trap Duke Bovicus. And trapping Duke Bovicus with that Cow's Bane is how you end the threat of the Hellcows. Not cool. Not cool at all, bro. What the fuck are you? I'm like, Duke Bovicus. What are you? Ask my backside as I leave. Hey, you can't leave Duke Bovicus like this. Watch me walk away more. Now, couple of things to note. Don't even want to know what happens if you ring it twice. You cannot use this, right? You can't, like, once you've trapped Duke Bovicus here, you can't use this as a XP grinding location anymore. Which is fair. There's still plenty of other places to go, and at least one other place you can go to grind Susie's levels. That being the Butter Store, or the Butterfield Ranch. But, you know, again, should be pretty obvious that you can't use that anymore. You can theoretically, well, I am Duke Bovicus. What are you? None of your business, demon. The only business Duke Bovicus has is partying and hating you, dude. And right now, Duke Bovicus is really more focused on the second thing. Duke Bovicus does a little bit of undignified flailing. Point and laugh. Ha ha! Release me! No. Duke Bovicus is getting very angry. He does some more flailing, this time even less dignified than before. Yeah, he can't escape. You'd think Susie would have something to say about it, but no, this is kind of just the generic thing for Hellstorm Ranch. So she's got nothing to say about trapping Duke Bovicus, which is a bit of a shame. And speaking of people who have nothing to say about trapping Duke Bovicus, that you'd think would have something to say, not Wandering Sally. I'll talk to her. But you'd think Barnaby Bob would have something to say about trapping Duke Bovicus and would give you a reward. Though you can't technically prove that you did that. I think I'm pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. Actually, no. I'll buy an apple and I'll buy a carrot. Not for myself, but for Yandere-chan. I've got plenty of meat. To be fair, like, it's not like I grabbed a bit of evidence that I did thwart Duke Bovicus, but I could, like, literally tell him, send a clown to Hellstorm Ranch and you'll see what I'm talking about. Send in the clowns. But you really would think that he'd have something to say about you trapping Duke Bovicus, his arch nemesis. But no, it's just I've killed some cows, so I'll get bounties for that. That's it. So the money I just spent from Wandering Sally I got back and then some. So hooray, we've completed the Hellcow quest. Let us proceed back to the Curious False Mountain. All things considered, this may end up being the last West of Loathing stream. Because there's not a ton left to do here. Because I've already fixed up this, I already have my time squeezer working the way it's supposed to. And I activated the West Roberto containment, so now, if I check out this hexagon, definitely one of the largest hexagons you've ever seen. Oh, I thought I turned this on. Local power? Select local power. No, I thought Roberto containment was on. Planetary garbage disposal system. Okay, yeah, so I did have Roberto containment online. It's hard to get close to you, feel like you're being pushed away. That's why I didn't think that Roberto containment, because you're supposed to see that message when Roberto containment is online. What the fuck Roberto is, I don't know. Although, speaking of, I actually do have an answer for my question from last week's stream, which was, can I put an El Vibrato headband on the cult leader in Madness Mall Mine? The answer is yes. Ah, yay, the curious flat plane is exactly where I want to go. The answer is yes, and the answer is if I do that, it triggers one extra part of the final scene. So there is going to be something that we don't see in the final cutscene because I didn't put that El Vibrato headband on the cult leader in Madness Mall Mine. It's nothing major, so I'm not too bummed about it. Let's talk to Susie. Huh, what's with them weird blocks? Good question. Looks like some kind of ancient road or something. Runs north as far as I can see. It's real wide, too. It is indeed a mystery. Let's have a look! Keep going, but I'm not animated for climbing. You're animated for jumping! Come on, Melvin, jump higher! No. So let's actually go down. This ladder is missing about 70% of its rungs, so dangerous, call OSHA. Takes 30 moxie to climb down this ladder for some reason. Uh-oh. Oof, this poor explorer didn't make it down the ladder in one piece. Check their belongings. You got El Vibrato scraps, El Vibrato rod, and a couple of El Vibrato punch cards. I don't need those El Vibrato punch cards anymore. But the El Vibrato rod is fun. Definitely one of the largest hexagons you've ever seen, and it looks very similar to another hexagon that I saw. Monolith is dark. Insert battery. Insert battery into the monolith. Springs to life. Everything goes blue for a second. 350 XP and energized. How much XP do I have? I've got these about where I need them to be. And I've got all my main skills up to where I want those to be. I don't really need higher stats anyway. I mean, my stats are just beyond perfect. What's my speed? 26. HP regen 11. Good lord, I am unstoppable. Alright, well, let's see what's back here. Huh. Screen just keeps flashing the same thing over and over again. Power offline. Well, it's because this is broken, and I have an El Vibrato cylinder to put there. Changing the fuses on this El Vibrato technology. Primary terminal, select secondary terminal. Weather adjustment terminal. Increase weather adjustment machine power. I don't know what that does, but let's go back to primary. What's the garbage terminal? Garbage return. You press a button and a huge pile of El Vibrato shit materializes behind you with a thud. Garbage containment offline. Hooray! And you can grab 30 El Vibrato scraps from that, which is not bad. If we go to local power terminal, select power destination, extraterrestrial auditory beacon, municipal sedative pipeline. No, we want it to go to Roberto containment. Leave the terminal. That should say... I don't think it did what I wanted it to do. There we go, okay. What the? Well, this wasn't here before. A weird thing with a button on it. An El Vibrato gizmo sticking out of the ground here. It's got a button on top. Push the button! The machine makes a little ping sound. Well, I'll be a... Listen, I ain't no weather expert, but I know enough to tell when it's gonna rain. That was not on the schedule for today. All I did was push the button on this gadget I found. Didn't your ma ever tell you not to push strange buttons you find in the middle of nowhere? Oh, hello, bot. I'll push a button and delete you. Well, no, she did not. Pushing buttons is fun. You pull the lever again and the rain stops, the clouds quickly disperse. Push the button! Well, that just sounds wonderful. Let's say we leave it raining here, shall we? That sounds great. So that El Vibrato rod that we have, that's not something to take to the professor. That is something kind of like the El Vibrato keystone, or sorry, the key-shaped El Vibrato device. You want to take around to previous locations and see what might happen. Better hope you got a ton of El Vibrato keys, because you're gonna need them. So I think most of the locations you're gonna want to go with that rod device are gonna be mines. And in those mines, you may find spots, some kind of drilling machine. Huh. I think this was just, yeah, this was just El Vibrato cultivators. Maybe not this one, but... Oh, never mind. See, you found rocks that are like 4 over there. There's an El Vibrato container that appeared. Then you'll get things like El Vibrato scraps, El Vibrato, which I don't need any more punch cards, but it's not a bad thing. Seeing Madness Mom Mine. But yeah, there's a few locations you can go to. And it's... Again, it's not going to be as exciting as those portals to the past like you got with the key-shaped El Vibrato device, but it's still kind of interesting. Let's see. This was where we found Curly's map. There we go. So that's this one. I believe there's something in Snake Pit Mine as well. This is the one where I mind-splained all of the equipment to Susie all that time ago. My, how the times have changed. Bean iron nugget. That's not what I was here for, but fun that it's there. And here's another El Vibrato. Storage, whatever. I think there's also one in Cavern Canyon, of all places. Danger Spider. I remember this place to a certain degree. Oh, also I never foraged. Danger Kitchen. I don't think it's here. It's in this area somewhere in Cavern Canyon. Yeah, here. It's an entire monolith. Insert a battery. So, you know, again, that doesn't actually give you stuff, but that does let you insert a battery and become energized. Also, I said before that this bar didn't have anything. I forgot to check far enough, and it's got some stuff in there. Which is fine. I mean, that's not the main reason why I came here. That monolith is helpful, though. For cowardice. You happen to cross an abandoned crate, which apparently fell off a wagon or something, since the lid has been knocked loose. You know what that means? It's mine! All mine! Fish through the crate and help yourself with contents, which appear to be mining gear, so you were even more right than you knew. Thermos of spiked coffee, sulfur match, smelling salts. Hooray for smelling salts. They smell fine. I don't remember if there's anything here at Fort Cowardice. No. I don't think there would be anything here at Fort Cowardice. Shroom Cave and Shaggy Dog Cave, I think, have stuff for me to get with this new El Vibrato rod. I should actually take a look at that item description now that I'm thinking about it. Rock Hammer, +8 Mysticality. Okay, this tiny hammer is more about precision than impact, more about knowledge than precision. Okay. El Vibrato Rod. This is a thin, foot-long rod of El Vibrato material. It's got a little label on the side that says Emergency Cache Decloaker. Well, that's nice. So what we're finding are emergency caches of El Vibrato devices. And there's one right here. Well, it's a monolith, but sure. And no, we're going well away from this Verkakta Cave. Shroom Cave. That's probably got something in it. Let's see. Gotta find those 4 rocks. Oop! Back here. So yeah, lots of places you can go and grab some El Vibrato stuff. Jumble Neck Mine, I bet. Like, check every single mine for stuff. Maybe it's got, maybe it doesn't have, but it's worth checking. Worth moseying on in. See if the El Vibrato people stopped in and poked around. Yep, there's another one. So that was the Jumble Neck Mine. Still haven't checked the Lost Dutch Oven Mine. or the Coal Ridge Mine, or Soupstock Lode, which we're passing both by Soupstock Lode and Coal Ridge Mine. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Traveling is done basically instantaneously. Hop around on my lantern like a jackass-o lantern. Alright, anything down here? No. So maybe there's not anything in the Dutch Oven Mine. There's already been plenty of stuff here in the Dutch Oven Mine, so it wouldn't surprise me if there's nothing here. Yeah. I mean, again, now you've got this, which I don't even know where the hell this goes. But I think fixing this is what allowed me to change the teleport location in Curious Abandoned Well, so putting that El Vibrato cylinder over there. It is all connected. There's a lot of nonsense to this El Vibrato quest. A lot of nonsense. Alright. So let's check... while we're up here, let's check the Humming Cave. I don't think there's anything else in the Humming Cave, but you never know. Yeah, it thinks it's gonna pummel me into scrap? No. I'm gonna pummel it into scrap. Probably like this. Excellent. Got some El Vibrato scraps. Wait a minute. I forgot about... Well, these rocks are kind of weird, but I guess there's nothing to them. Ooh, more bean mine. And there we go, an El Vibrato cache. So there was something there. Alright, Right, I wanted to go to the Coal Ridge Mine. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm saying. Oh, it's just a skull, good lord. Alright, good, we beat it. And a gold tooth. I've got plenty of those, or I had plenty of those. I'm wearing a crown of gold teeth, which should tell you everything you need to know. Well, a crown of silver-plated gold teeth, which really tells you everything you need to know. Anyway, while we're here, we can get Loose Ben with Combination Lock. Combination Lock, and you don't know the combo. Fortunately, the sort of lockers they have on work sites for employees with their lunches in are not exactly high-security locks. Nuts! There's nothing inside except a couple old empty milk bottles and their discarded paper cups. The caps advertise Butterfield Dairy with a little logo. So I suppose if you didn't have the location of Butterfield Ranch, you get it from that. But, like, you're gonna find that well before you have Safe Crack in one. So I don't know what the point of that is other than a red herring. Ooh, more bean iron. And there's your El Vibrato cache for here. Anything in soup stock load? Oops. Aha. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here we go. You spot a small makeshift signpost stuck into the ground a few yards away from the road and stop to check it out. It says free meat. Spelled wrong, right? It's the wrong meat. And indeed, there's a small pile of meat lying in front of it. You're so distracted from rolling your eyes at this obvious trap, you almost miss the goblin sneaking up behind you. He's wearing an old buffalo skull as a helmet, which you have to admit looks really metal. I gotta hand it to you, you nearly got me, good job. Ha! Foolish human is falling into my clever trap. Now you are giving me valuables, or I'm beating you up. You know, this may be the first time I've been mugged by a goblin. Usually you guys are more or less peaceable. I am smart like human. Why making things myself when robbing easier? Smart like human is a very accurate description of that idea, yeah. Let's talk to that. Giving me stuff, or hitting you. Calming down. We coming to some kind of agreement? Agreeing with either taking stuff or hitting. Offer to teach them? After some back and forth, the goblin agrees to leave you unhit if you teach it how to set up a better ambush. You give him some pointers on sneak attacks and how to spell meat correctly, and he begrudgingly lets you go. You gain 32 XP. This is another one where Dawning would be both very proud of the little goblin's innovation and then also proud of me for helping the little goblin become better at ambushing and robbing other people. Okay. Hooray. That certainly won't come back to bite me in the future. Let's see. Soup stock load. We know the El Vibrato guys were here. We know that. Or at least the El Vibrato cultists were here. Because they had that elevator, and this was the one with the elevator with the screw bolts that had to be tightened, and... or, not the screw bolts, the bolts that needed to be wrenched appropriately. I know what I mean, even if I don't say what I mean. Alright, so there's nothing here. Maybe there isn't an El Vibrato cache in here. But I never unlocked that. El Vibrato fluid? Okay. The screen on the machine says Municipal Organic Fluid Pipeline Offline. Insert organic fluid. Insert fluid. Organic sustenance, organic sedative, organic refreshment, or fluid return. Refreshment? Okay. Screen flickers back to Municipal Organic Fluid Pipeline Offline. Let's try sustenance. And sedative. So El Vibrato rum is sedative. But let's take a look. So I guess there you can swap your El Vibrato fluid, which isn't doing you any good, for other El Vibrato stuff, right? So El Vibrato fluid, this pentagonal El Vibrato device contains some sort of sloshy fluid. Slosh it around. Slosh fluid around inside the device. Slosh, slosh. Okay. El Vibrato seltzer. This is a small flask made of El Vibrato material and filled with glowing blue fizzy liquid. Increases muscle, mysticality, and moxie by 5, and max AP by 2 for the rest of the day. I think that's a potion, so let me try to take it. Yes! Press a button on the side of the flask, which makes the cap disappear, which is surprising and amazing. This allows you to drink the seltzer, which is also surprising and amazing. Sparkling. The El Vibrato Food Cube is also not bad. Increases muscle, mysticality, moxie by 5, and max HP by 20. My stomach is full. And the El Vibrato Rum, crystalline orb full of a clear liquid that smells like rum. I reckon it's probably either rum or rum-scented turpentine. Increases item and meat drop bonuses by 30%. This is a cube of substance, this is a cube of substance the El Vibrato machine reassured you is sustenance. Yeah, it's probably food. So hooray for that. There was still a reason to come here back to Soup Stock Load. Where else? We've been to Jumble Neck Mine. I think I went to the Abandoned Mine. So let's go to Deepest Delve Mine. Gotta go there anyway. Alright, at Deepest Delve Mine, there is still stuff for us to do. Also, the thing that I was remembering, because I thought I remembered there was also something at Fort Cowardice. If memory serves, there's a tent there labeled with the goblin word for toilet, and because I know goblin tongue, I can't go in there because it's just too gross. If I didn't know goblin tongue, the game would let me go in there, and it's not actually a toilet, it's like a little cave, and in there you would be able to find an El Vibrato cache. But the El Vibrato caches aren't that important, especially considering how late game you're likely to bump into that curious flat plane. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But yeah, in the Deepest Delve Mine, if you haven't already beaten up the cultists in here, or put on your cultist leader mask and gotten them to go away, you are going to have to do that at least for the for the second and fourth floors, because this was where I got the El Vibrato plus sign, or the El Vibrato cross, whatever the hell they called it, which was how I was able to fix the machine downstairs. So you had to beat up, I want to say it was 3 cultists there, and then the next floor was 5 cultists, and the bottom one was 7 or 8, I don't remember. Too many of them. Way too many of them. All these toilets. But yeah, I think clearing them out of here is optional. I think. Did I go to Coleridge Mine? I don't remember if I went to Coleridge Mine. It doesn't really matter. And here's your El Vibrato cache here. Ooh, an El Vibrato assault drone. Hooray! Alright, let's go here. And this is West Roberto Containment Power Online. Yeah, see this thing, right? The little plus sign or cross or whatever that you had to get that from the second floor. East Roberto Containment Power Online. This is some strange device. So, terminal screen reads West Roberto Containment Power Online, East Roberto Containment Power Online, Positronic Resonator detected. Initialize Roberto Containment System. Alright. Definitely wasn't here before. And this is the final crown in the game. So I said this was going to be an all crowns run. I wasn't whistling Dixie. +7 muscle, +7 mysticality, +7 moxie. So if I go back to hats, that's pretty good. Right, my gold tooth crown right now is plus 10 moxie, plus 10 mysticality, plus 3 muscle, and silver plated for plus 1 max AP. Remember that before I put the Frisco Viper skin on it, it was plus 7 moxie, plus 7 mysticality, plus 0 muscle, and then it being silver plated is what got it the plus 1 max AP. So I can effectively make this El Vibrato crown plus 10 across the board and have plus 1 AP with it. So that's a pretty good crown. Now you'll see that everything is working properly. Right, terminal screen reads Roberto containment system online. Won't let you fuck with that afterward. Although speaking of fucking with things afterward, going back to Duke Bovicus, which was one of the first things I did in this, you can technically agree to let Duke Bovicus go if you really wanted to. You can then hit the bell with the Infernal Mallet and trap him again, so it's kind of funny, kind of not, but that is something sort of hilarious that you can do. But that is the El Vibrato quest taken care of, which is nice. Oh yeah, I got that one already. Wander and Sally, not right now. I think we're good. I appreciate it, but I don't really have much to do. It's some kind of minor, yeah, ghost minor. As opposed to a ghost major. Bit of ectoplasm. Yeah, he shouldn't have attacked me. So yeah, we really are just about out of things to do. Because we completed the Hellcows, now, just because we completed the Hellcows doesn't mean all the Hellcows suddenly disappear. Just like becoming the Necromancer, or even beating the Necromancer, but like, none of that actually caused it to no longer have a, half an hour away from your hotel. Well, stick around. Well, actually, I could have just done the Great Northern Blizzard. Whatever. Let's give these cows somewhat of a fighting chance. Oh wait, you're whiffing. Good for you. Fighting chance might toss. Yeah, no, I gave you a chance. You disappointed me. But yeah, just because you've captured Duke Bovicus doesn't mean that there are no more Hellcows, just like stopping the Necromancer doesn't stop there from being... or even taking over for the Necromancer doesn't stop there from being skeletons. Or, even if you take over for the, Necromancer, you can still get the I Hate Necromancers badge. But, let's see, Olive Garden's homestead. Is it raining here now? No. Okay. That's fine. Let's go to Frisco. Because we were there, but we really weren't there. You're slowly approaching. Well, the end of this game is slowly approaching. What the hell's going on, Smee? This fancy pants calls himself the Emperor. It won't let us build our tracks in the station. You see if you can talk some sense into him? Nah, I can't talk sense into anybody because I'm a stupid. So instead, let's just walk right by him. So, Frisco Station, nice station, too bad there's no train that runs to it yet. Word on the street is that Projectionist Wanted 2 is already in the works. So nothing you can do here yet. Just nearly identical houses as far as the eye can see in that direction. Well, what's this? Flyer of some sort. Pick it up. Item, a comedy flyer. Well, I'm one who always enjoys a good comedy. Read it. You read the garbage, and it turns out to be a flyer for a comedy shack up north of Frisco. You jot down the location on your map, then throw the flyer away. As opposed to on the street, which it was previously, discover a new map location, Wasco's Comedy Shack. Alrighty then. So let's go talk to Was. Actually, while we're here, we can stop by Clumsee's. Well, I'll be a new face. I'm Clumsee. Make yourself at home. Thanks, I'm Melvin Eastwood. New to town? I've been helping the Manifest Destiny get railroad tracks laid. We're very, very close, but haven't quite finished yet. Sounds like you could use a drink. Clumsee, I sure as shit could. What do you got? So at this bar in the final location at the game, you can get a New Amsterdam, increase your muscle by 9 for the rest of the day. New Fashioned, increase your mysticality by 9 for the rest of the day. Or an Olive Gin Cone, increase your moxie by 9 for the rest of the day. Which again, for your main M stat for whichever class you have, right? The Cow Puncher wants the New Amsterdam, Bean Slinger wants the New Fashioned, Snake Oiler wants Olive Gin Cone. Plus 9 isn't bad. I've just already maxed out my liver, so nothing doing there. Sorry, no darts management. What's with that huge brawl going on over there? Oh, them fellas are always blowing off steam. I just let them go ahead and get their aggressions out, as long as they keep over there, away from what furniture I've got left. What can you tell me about Frisco? Oh, it's a fine town. Fellow named Samson Frisco founded it a way back, when the mines first opened out this way. Everyone caught the fever. Mining fever? Yep, kind you get from breathing too much dirt. Frisco was a doctor, you see. Ah, gotcha. Bye-bye, barman. Speaking of ladies at bars, though, this lady has a rock in her whiskey. Ask her about it. Whiskey on the rocks, eh? That was a little funny the first time I heard it today. So by now it should be a laugh riot, right? Mm-hmm. Seriously though, why are you ruining that whiskey with that rock? I'm not here to drink. I'm doing important research. What kind of research do you do? Is it anything like the research I do in Gerudo Town? I'm testing the effects of various liquids on hypercrystalline thaumomorphic diorites. Thaumomorphic diorites. Today's liquid is ethanol. Maybe I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm guessing you're some kind of scientist? Good guess. Specifically, I'm an arcanogeologist. We talking magical rocks here? Hey, not bad. You got it in one. Dr. Jossie Morton at your service. Hi, I'm Melvin Eastwood. My second guess was going to be buttholes, but rocks don't have those. Not typically, no. Have you met the professor? The guy researching El Vibrato out by Gustavin Gulch, that's him. His work is really intriguing, but our fields of study don't overlap as much as you'd expect. No? I'd have thought El Vibrato would be right up your alley. There's all kinds of magical rocks in that stuff. Yeah, but those rocks were heavily modified by the El Vibratoans. My interest is in magical rocks in their naturally occurring state. Oh, I see. So how's your whiskey experiment going? Everyone is live tonight. Kneecaps, Magnin. It's not my... Look, I stick to a regular schedule. I stick to a fucking regular schedule. It's Caps who doesn't, and Magnadeth who doesn't. I don't blame Cody, because Cody's always on live Wednesday nights, too. But it's like, I can't not stream on every night that there's a Bulbagar. Like, I've only got specific... Like, if I wasn't streaming tonight, I'd be streaming tomorrow night and interjecting with Caps when he does his Caps Lock stream. I can't not stream on a night that Bulbagarden is streaming. But I stick to a schedule. I blame everyone else who doesn't stick to a schedule. Anyway, how's your whiskey experiment going? Not great, but to be honest, I wasn't expecting much. This test should really be done with pure ethanol, but it's too hard to get that out here. So I'm trying whiskey just for the heck of it. But the impurities in it would screw up my findings even if I had any. Well, that's a shame. Hey, your rock just turned blue. Oh, that's unrelated. Hypercrystalline thalaomorphic diorite turns blue every 23 minutes. I have a colleague who patented a design for a watch based on that property of it, but a 23-minute watch isn't very useful. Plus, you know, the whole cancer thing. Cancer? Yeah, did you think I wasn't drinking this because of the flavor? It's because I don't want a tumor that can yell my own name. Sorry, I don't want a tumor that can yell its own name. Do you need any help with your experiments? Sure, I could always use more samples. If you find any interesting rocks, bring them by my house. You discover a new map, Dr. Morton's house. What counts as interesting? I haven't seen any rocks that turn blue. Oh, just anything a rock doesn't ordinarily do. Moving around on its own, defying gravity, displaying rudimentary intelligence. What about a rock that plays the banjo? Have you seen a rock that plays the banjo? Oh no, I was just what-ifing. Jeez Louise, don't get my hopes up like that. Well, I'll swing by if I can find any interesting rocks. Alrighty, thanks. Hope to see you soon. She pays her tab, fishes the rock out of her whiskey, and leaves. You decide there's no sense in throwing the bathwater out with the baby, and you pocket the whiskey. Got an item, whiskey without the rocks. Alright, what does that do? I can't drink it, mind you, but... Dr. Morton told you this whiskey was poisonous, but you figure all whiskey is technically poisonous, so how much worse could this really be? Holy fuck, I wish that I had an extra liver capacity, because 23 spell damage for the rest of the day. And no, I've maxed out those stats, so... Let's take out some of my stats on these guys. You got the jump on them. So this is yet another way of farming experience, except this way you're killing people. Or at least beating the shit out of them in a bar battle. Again, there's basically an infinite number of them. So that's fun. Make it rain teeth. Hooray! Oh boy. Dive right in. Alright, let's see. Yeah, see, Vampiric Yodel really doesn't do much. Grit and Skull does okay, but like... I've got spells that are better than, or at least as good as some of these. Dark Hound is just no good. You'll get, apparently, well, you'll get alcohol out of these guys because, I mean, let's face it, right? We're in a bar. XP grinding this, I mean, you're not going to level up Doc Alice, you're not going to level up Susie because you're fighting people, but you'll get alcohol, you'll get XP. If you wanted to level up your stats, that's probably a decent way to do it. Alright, so there's Dr. Morton's house, but more importantly, let's go to Wasco's Comedy Shack. Alright, a strange noise over the next hill makes you pause. It sounded like, kind of like a gunshot, but less bang and more peow. You creep up to the spot cautiously and find a goblin fiddling with a large pistol with magical sigils engraved all over it. The goblin seems to be adjusting one of the sigils with a small engraving chisel. Hello? What doing? To adjusting new pistol am making. Making yourself? Yes. Pretty good, if can self-saying. Talk to it. This gun is looking pretty good. Is gun for buying? Yes, also for selling. 600 meats. Asked to examine the pistol. Am knowing magics. Can looking at pistol? Okay. The sigils are pretty well designed, but you do spot a couple of places where they could be improved upon. You explain the fixes to the goblin, who seems impressed. Very good, thanks. We'll give discount. Let's buy this pistol for 500 meat. The goblin engraves one more sigil on the gun before giving it to you, but you think maybe it's just their initials. That's fine by me. Lose 500 meat, gain the sigiled pistol. Cats are always behind you doing something. This pistol is carved with magical glyphs even on the inside of the barrel, which makes it really bad as an actual gun. Yeah, damage 4 to 6 is horrible, but that 15 plus 15 spell damage is good. If I didn't have Mrs. Gunn's Opus, this probably would be one of the better guns for me, one of the better pistols for me, because I don't really need it as a primary weapon since I have my spells. You know any good jokes, Susie? Sure, just the sort of jokes ranch hands tell, though. Hit me. What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean? Haha, I know that one. Yeah, maybe don't tell it right now. Alright, so Wasco's Comedy Shack. Funny, haha, yuck, yuck jokes, oh my. Howdy, howdy, howdy! Wasco Shafter's the name, and comedy's the game. Are you here for a real thigh-slapping good time? Alright, hit me. You hand over the meat and Wasco clears his throat. Okay, so a skeleton walks into a bar. And the bartender says, wait, it's a horse, not a skeleton. Sorry. Anyway, after that, the bartender asks the horse, ... Hey, why is your face so long, buddy? Okay. Wasco takes a bow. Want to hear another one? Alright, hit me. Alright, guy walks into a bar. The bartender says, sorry, we don't serve goblins here. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention, the guy is a goblin. Anyway, the end. Okay, Wasco takes a bow. Want to hear another one? Alright, hit me. Okay, here's a good one. Take my wife. Please. ... Please? Seriously? Wasco takes a bow. Want to hear another one? Alright, hit me. Hand over 5 meat. Wasco clears his throat. Oh, anyway, I just flew in from Canada. Which is weird, because people can't fly. Except for in balloons or gliders, I guess. We won't have actual airplanes for at least another couple of decades anyway. That's it. Wasco, you're real bad at this. What? No, I'm not. You're bad at, the stuff you do. Yeah, you're bad at the stuff you do. Dumb things, probably. ... Actually, the stuff I do is shooting people, or casting magic spells and killing people, or stuff like that. You really want to test and see how good I am at that? Because you're testing my patience right now. Come on, let me tell you another one. Alright, hit me. Okay, so guy walks into a bar. He asks for a beer and a mop. And the bartender says, what's the mop for? ... And the guy replies, because I'm a skeleton. That's it. Wasco takes a bow. Want to hear another one? Fuck it, hit me. Hand over the meat and Wasco clears his throat. Boy, it was really, really cold yesterday. ... You're supposed to ask me how cold it was. Oh, come on, Wasco. Want to hear another one? Alright, hit me. Alright, here's a classic. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, and 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night? ... A man, but Seriously? Wasco takes a bow. Want to hear another one? Seriously, you aren't good at comedy. Shut up! I'm great at jokes. No, you aren't. But what about my... Your timing is terrible. Timing! Alright, fucking hit me. What a waste of meat this is. So, my Uncle Alex, he thinks he's a chicken? And, well, my wife suggested we take him to see a psychiatrist. And I said maybe we should take him to a regular doctor? Because I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be possible for a regular human man to lay eggs. Wasco takes a bow. Want to hear another one? All right, hit me. Okay. So, I got a job as a manager on a baseball team, and all the players have weird names. Like, there's one guy literally named Who, and another one called I Don't Know. Okay, obviously that is a reference to Abbott and Costello's Who's on First routine. ... Third base. Wasco. I tell puns, and I know comedy, and I can tell you this comedy shit, you're not cut out for it. But alright, hit me again. Okay, so a skeleton walks into a bar. And the bartender says, oh, wait, it's a horse, not a skeleton, sorry. And anyway, after that, the bartender asks the horse, ... Hey, why is your face so long, buddy? You already told that one, and I'm telling you sincerely, you should fucking quit. Alright, fine. I admit it. I can't tell jokes worth a darn. What else am I supposed to do, though? You're a pretty decent banjo player. The Jewel and Dirtwater could use a banjo. Huh. Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Can't be much worse. I'll head over there shortly. Thanks for the idea. Sure thing. No. And if we leave and come back, Wasco's gonna be gone. So let's go back to the Curious Flat Plain, just for the heck of it. Yeah, it's still raining. And yeah, Wasco's gone. You can't go in the shack, though. But to be fair, this is probably where he was living, because if he was married, his wife probably kicked him out of their house for those stupid jokes he was telling. But if we do go back to Dirtwater, it's a long trek, I know, but I think we'll make it. Then we go to the Jewel Saloon. Wasco has joined the band. So yeah, that's it. That's all 5 members of the Dirtwater Jewel Saloon band. Well, 5.5, because I play the cowbell when I feel like it. Snowy was right, I am in fact the auditory nuisance. While we're here, let's get in some poker, just for the heck of it. Sit down at a poker table, dealer emerges from somewhere in the back, sits down next to you. Lady to your right introduces herself as Marge, player to the left says name is Paco. Ante up. 35%. Try to cheat. Quickly replace one of Marge's good cards with one of your bad ones. Plus 30% win chance. Forcefully strategize. Pound the table, causing the cards to fly into the air and land in a slightly different configuration. Plus 20% win chance. Glamorously strategize. You wink at Paco and he gets all flustered. Excellent. Moxiously raise. With a flourish, you plop 45 more meat down in front of you. Reveal your cards. Hooray! 270 meat. Just gotta gain back some of the money that I lost from Wasco. Jeez, my win chances are bad. Try to cheat? Well, curses. I might lose this one. Oh, hey, I won. I don't know how I won, but I'll take it. Ante up. Try to cheat. Forcefully strategize. You grunt and strain and tear one of your cards in half. Now you have 2 of that card. You do some quick mental math, realize your odds of winning are better than you thought they were. Cleverly strategize, reveal your cards. Hooray! No more pokering. But I really do love poker in the game, and while we're here, let's talk to Ellsbury. You're back. He looks you over. Got some medicine for me? Yeah, here you go. Cracks the bottle open and drinks deeply. After a few moments, his demeanor changes entirely. Looks like a man 20 years younger. Would you like to hear a story? Yes. Ellsbury tells you the tale of a baker who gets kidnapped and taken to a nightmarish country inhabited by tiny insects. Something about your story. You really lost yourself in it. Gain 30 XP. Thank you, Ellsbury. If you ever want to express your gratitude in a more tangible way, you know the trick. I do have more laudanum. But not being able to use my left thumb is miserable. Alright, what's this story? Ellsbury tells you a tale about a long-forgotten metropolis where violent cows protect and serve ghostly beasts? Something about that story, you really lost yourself to it. Alright, another one. Ellsbury tells you a tale about a curious desert where barbaric cows court and marry intelligent beasts. Alright. Got more. Ellsbury tells you the tale of a philosopher who gets lost in a strange planet inhabited by violent insects. Oh boy. Sorry, no more medicine. Alright, so that's that. Now, I need to find some interesting rocks for Dr. Morton. Where might one find interesting rocks? Well, I fought some kind of rock monster in the first railroad camp. There's a skull just sort of rolling down the road towards you. Like, directly towards you. When you step to one side, it swerves to match. Alright? It's just a frickin' skull. And you know what, skull? You're gonna yodel-odel-odel obey me. I didn't need to use my weapons for that. I got a gold tooth. I don't think wearing the gold tooth crown increases your chances of finding gold teeth, mind you. But it's something. There used to be a train here. Aha! The remains of your triumph over that crazy rock pile / guy. Grab a rock for Dr. Morton. Got an item. Interesting rock. This rock is moving around of its own accord and doesn't seem to be affected by gravity. Interesting. Dr. Morton will love this. Incidentally, if I do go to the professor, I don't even know what I'm attacking. Oh, it's an El Vibrato robot. Fine. You know what, El Vibrato robot? You too are going to yodel-odel-odel obey me. I am king of the El Vibrato now. Though I'm not wearing that particular crown. Until I find a Frisco Viper and skin it and put its skin on my El Vibrato crown. I'm still going to wear this one because the stat that I actually care about, mysticality, is already at +10. Anyway, Professor here is examining something with intense concentration. By the way, I met Dr. Morton. Jossie, what's she up to these days? Well, I met her in a bar and she was soaking a rock in whiskey. Still doing her hypercrystalline thalmomorphic diorite tests. Good on her for being so thorough. Leave the professor alone. Make an exit. Alright, what do we got? Well, let's go to Dr. Morton's house. Wandering around Area G is where I might find myself a Frisco Viper. Wow, Dr. Morton's got one heck of a rock collection. I always felt a rock collection ought to focus on quality over quantity. Maybe the good ones are inside? Some kind of drilling machine. It seems to have taken a real beating. This doesn't seem natural. Yeah, none of this seems natural. Oh, hey. Fancy high-tech electric light. Ask about it? Do these new lamp things usually need... don't these new lamp things usually need to be plugged into something? Yes, but I've modified these to run on ambient arcanolithic radiation. You could see how they work more reliably the closer they are to that diuretic resonator there on the floor. Yes, I understand this. Yes, this must be the Dianetic resonator, because this lamp works the most thorough, this lamp works the second most thorough, and this lamp works the least thorough. Boots, huh? Weird-looking boots on this workbench. Investigate. Hey, Jossie, what's up with these boots? Oh, that's just an invention I lost interest in. What do they do? They're supposed to make you run really fast, but I couldn't get any significant boost out of them. You're so close, though. 25 mysticality. Oh, yeah? Sure. Just gotta hook this wire up to this spring, twist this flange a little, and Bob's your uncle. Oh, huh. Clever. Well, I'm still not interested in them. You can keep them if you want. The Boost Boots. Presumably that increases your speed significantly. +5 speed. These boots are augmented with various electrical thingamajigs. Wearing them is like having somebody constantly shooting at your heels. Oh, fun. +5 speed. Oh, actually, what does the El Vibrato grenade do? Bomb-shaped object made of El Vibrato material with a prominent button on the top of it. You suspect that bomb-related things will happen if you push it. This item is used in combat. Deals 25 damage to all enemies. That's pretty good. That's very good, actually. You have no idea there were so many books about rocks. The water in this vanity has been replaced with some kind of solvent. Okay. Bed made of stone. A bedrock, if you will. She's really committed to the whole geology thing. This was once a dining table, but now it's just a bad horizontal filing cabinet. And yeah, this light here is not as dependable as the other lights that are closer to this Diametic resonator, which I know exactly what that is. Yes. Dr. Morton. Hi there, Dr. Morton. Oh, hi, Melvin. Did you find any interesting rocks for me? I did, in fact, find an interesting rock. Well, now, this is quite a nice chunk of golemite. Where did you find it? A big rock monster attacked some railroad guys I was helping out. Like a huge man-shaped boulder pile. Really angry one. A full-on anthropomorphosite. Amazing. They're quite rare. I've never seen a living one in person. I suppose you were forced to destroy it, though. Well, yeah, it was violent and there were a lot of people around. Sorry. It's a shame, but that's the usual outcome. No worries. Anything else you need? Yes, actually. I found an interesting hexatite node in a cave nearby, but I couldn't shift the thing. You've proven yourself the resourceful type. You think you could collect it for me? Discover a new map location. The Old Cave. Sure thing, Dr. Morton. Oh, no need to stand on ceremony. Call me Jossie. Sure thing, Jossie. Well, all right. We've got a new location to go to in the Old Cave, and I think we're going to go there after I take a quick break and get some more tea. I will BRB. I have returned. And I think I was going to go off to some kind of old cave or other. So let's do that. Assuming I can, yeah. I mean, technically I don't need to find the exit, but still. Go to old cave. Looks like this is the cave that Dr. Morton was talking about. Coming in? Nah, I'ma just sit myself down for a spell and shake the pebbles out of my boots. Just give a holler if you need anything. Alrighty. The remains of an old campfire. Some previous visitor left gear behind. Ransack the knapsack. Army field trauma, cat's eye candy, sarsaparilla, it might be an El Vibrato cultist. Because one thing we know about them is that they love sarsaparilla, weird floating rock. Interesting. That can't be important. Alright. Oh! I got hit by a rock. Ooh, I got hit by a rock again. Hey! I wonder if it gives me some kind of perk if I keep getting hit by rocks. Probably not. I probably shouldn't let myself get hit by rocks. Like, this seems like a bad idea. This seems like a very bad idea. Alright. This is almost certainly the rock Dr. Morton wants. Approach it. The rock darts and weaves about. You need to take a sample from it, but you're not sure what your best approach is. Do I overpower it? I've got the muscle. Or do I bribe it? I've got the meat. What does bribing it do? You bang meat against the rock. You bang meat against the rock until a slice gets knocked loose. Unfortunately, this gets your meat all dirty. You don't want to put it back in your wallet where it would mess up the rest of your meat, so you throw it away. You lose 3,000 meat. Fucking Christ, that was a waste of meat. You get you get an item weird rock sample. Okay. I probably should have just overpowered it, but whatever. A hexagonal slab of rock you separated from a different hexagonal slab of rock. Oh, and both of them are weightless in addition to being hexagonal. That's probably the more important adjective now that I think about it. It's uncanny. I see. Susie, help! Some rocks pummeled me! Alright, let's go back to Doc Morton's house. Hey, Jossie. Hey, Melvin, any luck getting that rock sample from the old cave? Yep, it only cost me 3,000 meat for no good reason. Ah, that's a beaut. Sit it over here on my workbench. She carefully examines the stone through a crystal lens while tapping on it with a little engraved silver hammer. Yep, this is just the stuff I'm looking for. And if my readings of the resonance frequencies are correct, I'm sitting right on top of a prime vein of research material. Rather, the very similar-looking hexite boulder outside my house is. Neat. Very neat. Just one little problem, which is that the second-hand drilling rig I bought didn't come with any actual drill bits. Ah, geez, isn't that always the way? That is pretty much my experience, yep. Can't you buy one somewhere? Oh, I could mail order one, sure. Then I just have to wait a couple of months for it to arrive. Or I could have an adventurous acquaintance of mine check out an abandoned mining site west of here and see if they can scavenge one for me. Yeah, that sounds like a much better plan. Who's your acquaintance? Oh. Wait. It's me, isn't it? Yup. Okay, I'm on it. Sure. Oh, yeah. That hexagonal rock. Which doesn't seem natural, and this must be... Yep, it's some kind of drilling machine, seems to have taken a real beating. Well, the abandoned mine, which he said is in fact west of there, does in fact have a drilling machine in it. So... let's go take a look-see. I don't remember. I think it might have been this one. No, that's where the El Vibrato cache was. The drilling machine was in the other side path. For here. Here we... Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. Lousy El Vibrato cultists. It's a drilling machine like the one at Dr. Morton's house. Grab it by the bits. You grab the pointiest part of the machine. You got an item high-tech drill bit. Well, isn't that nice? This is part of an advanced drilling machine designed to make holes in especially sophisticated rocks. I wonder how the El Vibrato cultists got a hold of this. It's probably not important. Probably not. Alright. Oh, good. Another El Vibrato. Actually, if I want to wander around, what I want to do is... I want to shut that off, because I'm specifically looking for Frisco Vipers. And the El Vibrato cylinder, or the El Vibrato transponder... I'm sorry, what? You slam on Yandere-chan's brakes because you're pretty sure you just saw a floating banana. When you hop down to investigate, it turns out it's not floating, but perched precariously atop a thin stalk. Picking it could be risky. You grab a banana. Alright, don't think I ever encountered this before. Ooh, banana. Pretty sure that's a Donkey Kong reference of some kind. I'll have to figure out what that does. Snowy, what does the banana do? Come across the fork of the road, pair of twins standing near, sign says warning, vicious bears. Ask the guy who would pass it safe. They'd be glad to tell you, one of them always lies when tells the truth. Suggest kicking both men repeatedly in the junk until they agree which is the correct path. Both boys to the left. Yeah, makes sense. I think I had that one before, but it's still funny. Alright, got some mead. Big billboard, big cow. Yeah, I've seen this before, but this cow was not big enough, especially since I got silver plating on everything. Cow gonna die. Infernal leather, which does me no good as a bean slinger, but does cow punchers some good. This is like the 500th ghost miner that I've seen, and I haven't seen, like, I've seen one set of Frisco Vipers. That's a boo. But alright, let's go to Doc Morton's house again. At least finish what I started before wandering around like an idiot and keeping her waiting. Hey, Jossie. Found that replacement bit yet? I sure have. Hey, that's great. A little bit of surface rust, but if my calculations are right, this should do just fine for our purposes. Come on, let's hook it right up. Hook it up right now. She excitedly runs out of the house. Follow her. Holy guacamole. She really didn't waste any time. This ladder leads down to the tunnel Jossie just opened. That mining rig is fast as heck. And quiet, because I didn't even hear it go. Dr. Morton seems extremely excited to be here. Talk to her. That was crazy fast, Jossie. Jeez, you've got lights set up in here already and everything. Well, while you were out running errands for me, I didn't have much to do except plan this out. Having to fight an anthropomorphocyte was not part of my plan, though. A what now? The angry stone fellow over there. Boy, what I wouldn't give to be able to examine one up close. Unfortunately, getting mashed into a pulp would probably hurt my chances of getting tenure. But I'll see what I can do. So all of these lights down here. This thing is bristling with arcane power. I can touch it. And it opens a hole. So I think I can technically go through, because there's a whatever over there, so I can probably duck through this. This looks dangerous. Run through at 15 speed. So if you didn't have at least 15 speed, you could use those boost boots to give yourself an extra 5 speed. Or if you're already wearing boots with plus speed, it would be plus 5 minus whatever. But that's still something. But let's fight. You got the jump on him. Alright. A rumble of hexagons. A floating hexagonal rock and a floating hexagonal rock. Well, this should be enough for everyone, but let's do the spooky damage instead. Make it rain teeth. After all, you know that old game, right? Paper, scissor... rock, teeth, scissor. Where, you know, teeth beats rock. Well, teeth just beat rock. You really cursed those hexes. Very good. 315 XP. How did she... Okay. What the heck? What did that do? What is this doing? Is this doing anything? I don't think this is doing anything. What? Okay, it's changing the shape of the rocks in the background, but is it actually doing anything? I'm so confused. There's a puzzle here somewhere, and I'm just too stupid to get it. Wow, that's an extremely interesting rock. Isn't it incredible? This will definitely get me into the history books, or at least get my research paper into an important arcanogeology journal. Thanks so much for your help. Oh, it was nothing. I'll be giving you an assistant credit when I publish, of course. I'd like to give you more material reward, but I spent most of the grant money on the drilling rig. Hey, how about this? I don't need this hexite sample anymore. Maybe you can wear it as a hat? I got an arcane geode hat. Well, thanks. Arcane geode hat. +1 max AP, +9 mysticality, +9 spell damage. Which is a good hat for a beanslinger. It's not as good as my gold tooth crown, and if I can get that Frisco Viper skin, won't be as good as the El Vibrato crown, but that's pretty good. This hat is crackling with arcane energy, and it weighs almost nothing. It's not very stylish, but if anybody makes fun of you for wearing it, you can just vaporize them. Yes, vaporize. That's close enough. That thing looks dangerous. No, no, no. I must investigate. Well, fine. Fuck off. All right. Cross paths with Wander and Sally. Not now, thanks. I appreciate it, but don't really need anything. I'm really good on supplies. Frisco Poppy, which are nice. Found a rough wooden cross stuck into the ground with words some jerk carved in them. I guess it's a grave. Alright. Definitely grave together. Grave stuff. Skull chips, grave dirt, reinforced pocket square. Hooray, grave stuff. Abandoned crate of military supplies. Oh, hey. Good stuff. Not bad for like 5 seconds worth. Yeah, not bad at all. Man, Frisco Vipers must be pretty uncommon as an encounter. Technically speaking, I don't need to encounter them. We'll give it a few more times, just to see. I'm happy sticking with the gold tooth crown if I have to, but that El Vibrato crown is nice. Ghostly cows, sure. I could use this. I'm gonna do that instead. Out-spookify the spooky ghost cows by making it rain teeth on them. Crate is full of mining supplies, okay. Skeletons are angry looking. Okay, it's an angry looking mining skeleton. Whap 'em. Hello, MCH. How are you, sir?
How are you doing tonight, Emmy?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Looking for some Frisco Vipers to skin.
Hold on, I need to change audio outputs. Go into my speaker.
That's
Into
fair.
I'm on mobile, so I was going to my headphones.
Yeah, I figured you are, considering you'd be in a hotel, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Welcome to my neck of the woods, buddy.
Yep, not the first time I've been here. As
I
you
know.
know, never gonna be the last.
Yeah, well, such is life.
Yep.
It's a good area to be
here
in.
to visit the Chicago Cubs.
You're here to do what?
My parents always like visiting for Chicago Cubs, and I'm here to visit my friend. So it's a
Yeah,
win-win.
I've heard of these Chicago Cubs. Something
But you get the
about
point.
something about gum, I think.
In any case, you get the point. My parents get to see a
Yeah.
game of a sports team.
Yeah, right. They get to see one of their favorite sports teams. You get to come and visit your friends, and you all get to have deep dish pizza. So it's a win-win-win.
That's actually what we're doing tonight.
See? This is one of the first things people do when they come into Chicago. Speaking of, actually, I don't know if you remember HT.
I do.
I actually had, well, it was technically late lunch, early dinner, so call it dinner, with him a couple Sundays ago.
I just call that Lupper.
Sure, we'll call it Lupper. He was in the Chicago area, and we had deep dish pizza. Oh, hey, it's another banana. I never figured out what the banana does. Okay, let me figure out what the banana does. Because I've never seen this item in West of Loathing before. I'm intrigued. Okay.
Oh, banana.
Oh my god, that's actually good. The banana is nature's perfect banana. Increase your muscle, mysticality, and moxie by 9 for the rest of the day. Like, I'm pretty sure I had to make a plate of immaculate beans to get that. And that's specifically as a
Gotta love
beanslinger.
loafing verse humor. Gotta love loafing verse humor, I said.
Yeah. But, like, that was specifically as a beanslinger with, like, maximum chef, whatever, magical chef cooking or whatever. Ah, finally, Frisco Vipers.
That reminds me, whenever you get your better PC to stream Kingdom, I'm down. I have an idea for what you should name your character in Kingdom.
Kingdom, okay, because I was going to say, this is probably going to be the last West of Loathing stream. Because at this point, I've dealt with...
I have an idea for what you want to name your character in Kingdom once you get a way to stream that, aka better PC.
Yeah, that's going to be a while, but I have that Frisco Viper skin. So I've
Did
dealt...
you consider my idea for the Shadows character?
For the last name, yes. But you didn't have a name for the first name, which I'll think of one. I'm not too worried about that.
The last name was perfect. I'm glad I came up with that.
It was a good one. We're not going to tell anybody what it is yet, because...
No, we're not. It'll be a surprise.
Spoilers.
It'll be a surprise. Stay tuned, chat.
Yes. So, alright, now the El Vibrato Crown is plus 10 stats across the board, which doesn't improve my Moxie or my Mysticality any, but does improve my Muscle. And if I go to the Silver Plater, I can get that plated for 500 and get that plus 1 AP, so I'm not even missing my AP. So it's a slightly better version of the Gold Tooth Crown. I don't know if you know MCH, but this is an all-crowns run of the game. So I got myself...
Oh, that's why that hasn't ended yet.
Well, yes, but no. I still actually haven't gotten to Frisco. Well, I have, but I haven't.
Gotcha.
I haven't dealt with the train situation. Like, I haven't even talked to the final boss, shall we say.
Gotcha.
But, like I said, so we've dealt with the Necromancer, right? He's been defeated. I stole his crown and took over from him. Today we trapped Duke Bovicus at the Hellstorm Ranch. We're buddies with we're buddies with Barnaby Bob. Let's go taunt him one more time by crab walking around him.
God.
I'm taunting you. I'm taunting you. Ha ha ha. I'm very surprised Susie in particular doesn't have a comment about him. Like, I'm really surprised about that.
That does seem kind of odd. Susie has a comment about most NPCs in the game.
Well, specifically about the cows. And the other thing that really, because I don't think I ever bothered to check before, but Barnaby Bob doesn't say anything about you trapping Duke Bovicus either, and I would have thought he would have.
That's a glaring omission.
A little bit. But anyway, so we did get the 2 final members of the Dirtwood Jewel Band. Then we also got the Roberto containment up online. I think we got most, if not all, of the El Vibrato caches with that rod we found in the Curious Flat Plain. So there really isn't much of anything else, right? I got Curly's meat. I got Cactus Bill and Olive Garden are married. I've done everything at Fort Unnecessary. Like, I'm pretty sure there's nothing left for me to do.
Gotcha. Well, I'm probably going to get going now. I just wanted to stop in and say hi while waiting for my friend to show up.
Appreciate it, and enjoy your deep dish pizza, sir, and your stay here in the Chicago area.
Yep. Oh yeah, before I go, there's one last thing. Remember
Yes,
how I
sir.
mentioned I'm staying in Naperville? Well, there was a little joke I made when I was visiting here a couple years back where I actually misread it as Napaville. So that just became our joke, was him trying to repopulate Planet Vegeta as City Napa.
I see. Its power level must be over 2.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Have a good night, sir.
You too.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure she doesn't have much of anything that I need. So, alright, nothing from Wanderin' Sally. My El Vibrato crown is as good as I can get it. Let's head to Frisco. Hello? There we go. Had to get it a little further to the left. Which is difficult without a left thumb. We made it! We got all the way west. We sure did. Thanks for having me along, Melvin. It's been good times, by and large. Oh, heck, Susie Cochran. Are you fixing to split on me? Heh, nah. I ain't got no particular pressing business. I'll stick around till you finished, whatever it is you think you're doing. High five! And if I ask her about what I should do and if I'm forgetting anything, right? So this must be Frisco. Heck, I can hardly believe we actually made it. Say, Smee looks might sad about something. Yeah, probably, but no more side dalliances. Fixed all of the Mayor Breadwood's problems, got myself some Breadwood whiskey. Hello, Bulbagarden, you're here, I want to say just in time. Bulbagarden and Brave Raiders, you're here just in time for me to meet the Emperor. Hooray for the Emperor. Anyway, how was your stream this evening, Cody? What's going on, Smee? Well, this fancy pants calls himself the Emperor. He won't let us build our tracks up to the station. Can you see if you can go talk some sense into him? Sure, asking me to talk sense into anybody is always a great idea. Who the heck are you? I'm Emperor Norton. I'm in charge of this city, and you can't build any train tracks here without my permission. An emperor? Where's your crown, then? As it happens, I lost my dang crown. Thing didn't fit right anyway. But without it, I can't issue any official permits. That means no rails for you. Unless, of course, you were to give me a new crown, a properly fitting one. So, you solved one whole mystery. Solving mysteries is good. I have my gold tooth crown. I have my necromancer crown. I have my turnip crown. And I have my El Vibrato crown. I could give him any of those if I really wanted to. Which is a secondary reason for wanting to collect crowns. Now, keep in mind, Necromancer crown, Turnip crown, and El Vibrato crown are all crowns that you can get only one of, and the Necromancer crown you can only get if you absorb the Necromancer, right? If you consume the as opposed to just beating him. So those are rare items. The Gold Tooth crown, technically you can probably get multiple of, as long as you can knock 23 gold teeth out of some random Daves, or farm them from undead encounters. So you could probably give him a Gold Tooth crown and make yourself a new one. But why the fuck would I want to give this idiot any kind of crown whatsoever? No, they're mine, and I don't think I want to give you a crown. You're some crazy nut job. By the way, just in case any of you all don't get the reference, Emperor Norton here is based on an actual historical figure in the United States, Norton I of San Francisco. As a fun/hilarious fact, Emperor Norton, and I advise you to look him up because he's a fascinating character, Emperor Norton actually really did not like abbreviating San Francisco as Frisco, which is obviously what Frisco here is based off of. So that's funny. And the other thing that's funny is what we're going to see here. I don't think I want to give you a crown. Sorry. Despite the fact that I'm wearing one on my head and clearly have plenty of crowns. Well, I guess that just tears it, don't it? So, not only do you not get that permit, but also... He reaches into his pocket and grabs a handful of powder, which he throws in your face. Your eyes burn. Ha! Have a taste of my famous antivirus, sucker! Your vision goes all weird, and you pass out. What the fuck was that? Yes, it's Norton's antivirus. And what does this antivirus do? Well, when you come to, Norton is gone and so is the train. Uh-oh. Hello? This is weird. It makes you look at things as though it's as though you're looking at them through ant eyes. That can't be good. Hey, Clutchy, you got a drink what's gonna fix me up? No, bye-bye, barman. Well, you're no help at all. See what Smee has to say. Where'd the train go? That lunatic stole it! He drove it off somewhere into the desert. Norton's gone off the rails on a crazy train. He points to a deep set of ruts off to the side of the railroad tracks. You walk over to investigate, but you can't see it because of this weird hexagon thing your eyes are doing. You should probably get that checked out, boss. That Norton fella said something about an antivirus? Maybe someone around here knows something about that. Yeah, probably. You gotta get those eyes fixed, boss. Norton's getting away with our train. I'm working on it. I can't see shit, though. Alright, so they said maybe someone here knows something about it. But the only people here are Cluncy. Oh, let's see. You don't look well. Ugh, yeah, and I can't see well either. Oh no, did that rascal Norton do this to you? He was raving about some sort of antivirus earlier. Any idea how to fix this? Do you know that feller by the name of Roy Bean? One that collects all kinds of jelly beans? Think maybe he's got one made of honey. That it could help with your predicament. That makes 0 sense, but I suppose I don't have a better plan. Best get going. Hooray! Oh boy. You gotta get that train back. This is embarrassing. He points the set of deep ruts off inside the railroad track. We're take the trains off somewhere in the desert. You have to follow them. I'll see what I can do, but I can't do because I can't see. Your partner. Okay. Oh, hang on. Do you actually have anything that you say for what we should do? Come on, we gotta get you that jelly bean. Let's not waste any more time. I hope it works. So I think she'll also tell you about that if you ask her. So, remember how I said that this type of lunatic wouldn't be someone who wants to buy a jelly bean for 6,000 meat? Well, that jelly bean in Roy Bean's house, what costs 6,000 meat, is the one that's the cure for this antivirus. So if we go up here, right, there's a single yellow jelly bean in this case, with a sign that says, Paraguayan Murder Bee Honey Jelly Bean. Very rare, 6,000 meat. Roy walks over. Does this jelly bean really cost 6,000 meat? Well, normally it does, yes. But I guess seeing as how you helped me out with them bandits and goblins, and damn dirty hippies, let's call her 5. 5 meat? Really? Yeah, I reckon. Better buy it in a hurry before I change my mind. So yeah, that $6,000 meat jelly bean, if you help Roy Bean with all of his jelly bean issues, right? If you help him get the beans back from the thieves, from the goblins, and from those damn dirty hippies, when you get to this point in the game and he becomes your savior, you will only have to pay 5 meat for that jelly bean. You will have to pay 6,000 if you didn't help him. I think that there is a slight discount if you helped him find only some of his jelly beans, but it's not that difficult to grab his jelly beans back. Like, the worst one is the one from those damn dirty hippies, because you need to get that, like, that dirty hippica extract, which takes up one of your potions for the day. But if you do that right, you need to sleep 2 days to get the login permit and or the Ghostwood whiskey anyway. It's not too big of a hassle. Now, anything and everything that I've told you about tips and tricks for this game does only apply for normal mode, not hard mode. I've never actually played the game in a hard mode. I'm not really inclined to, but you do get the honey jelly bean. Take my leave. All right. So let's take a look at this. So you'll note my stomach, liver, and spleen are all full, but rare and expensive jelly bean made from the honey of Paraguayan murder bee. I can still eat it. You eat the jelly bean and your vision immediately clears. Modern medicine is really amazing. Oh yeah, if modern medicine was in jelly bean form, I think none of us would complain about taking our medication. Oh, speaking of, so I had my first occupational therapy appointment this evening. And that went somewhat interesting. I forgot that I had a medical gun. If you don't think about it too much, a pistol is just a more efficient, it's just a more effective syringe. Plus 30 max HP, that's pretty good. Of course, damage isn't so good, but it is what it is. Yay for jelly beans indeed, Cody. So, my first occupational therapy appointment was this evening. And I figured out why I continued to have this problem of the tendonitis in my wrist for the past several months. The reason is, so what I'm used to dealing with when it comes to things like my right arm is that there's going to be some, you have to work through its stretched tendons, its, knotted tendons and things like that. And there will be some pain in dealing with it because you're going to have to stretch things out and what have you. No. In the case of de Quervain's in particular, the only way to fully recover is to actually give yourself some goddamned rest and not use your wrist. And guess who hasn't not been using his wrist for the past several months? Me. So the primary thing that is in fact going to help me is in fact this damn brace. The occupational therapy is to give me some exercises to do a couple of times a day so that I don't fully lose control, right? So that I don't get too stiff or, have to, relearn how to use my wrist after I'm stuck in this brace. And I will be stuck in this brace, by the way, not just for 4 weeks like I was anticipating, but 6 weeks. So that's fun. But it's, again, on the one hand, I'm on the proper road for recovery now, and it doesn't seem like the occupational therapy sessions are going to be particularly grueling. On the other hand, I'm in a splint, and I mean that in a very literal sense. The splint is on my other hand, because it's my left hand, what's in the splint. So that's fun. Anyway, with that antivirus cured, I can now see these ruts. These are the telltale signs of a train robbery. Follow the tracks. You jump onto Yandere-chan's back and ride like the wind, following the railroad tracks back into the desert. When you finally catch up, you stand on Yandere-chan's saddle and leap onto the back of the train like a real badass, just barely catching the edge of the roof and pulling yourself up. Here's hoping you don't have to do that again. Your stuntman could have been killed. I love the humor in this game. Looks like Susie decided not to join you on account of not having a stuntman. So you're all on your own until you get back to Frisco. Yeah, you do not have a partner for this part of the game. Phew! Atop the stolen train. And there's that asshole Norton. I can climb down. Barrel is labeled Pickled Pig Knuckles. Try saying that 5 times fast. Pickled pig knuckles, 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 pickled pig pickled pig knuckles. Barrel is labeled hand fruit. Someone has carefully stacked these crates with the this end up arrows, all pointing in different directions. Brilliant. None of them are up, by the way. Barrel is labeled nubs. Barrel labeled pickled crackers. It's the door to the next car and it's locked with an unpickable plot brand lock. Damn it! No wonder they don't let Florence Cunningham come with you. She had the only set of keys that would break those Plotco locks. Well, fine. This safe what says keys might be what you need. So if you've got Safe Kraken 5, you can open that and get the cargo key. cargo car key. Wow, try saying that 5 times fast. Of course, you could also fight the good Emperor over here if you wanted to advance to the next car. But you can get around it and unlock it. You unlock the door. You hear Norton scurrying forward on the roof. Go up the ladder. Oop. My god, somebody's built... Oh good, someone has built a rickety-ass bridge between these train cars. This is very safe and not panic-inducing at all. Yeah, that sounds about right. Whoa, mind the gap. Where'd the Emperor go? I lost the Emperor. Alright, well, let's see what's going on in this car. Ah, bunch of bandits, huh? Well, this looks fun. These guys look angry and confused. Yeah, smells about right. These guys are so preoccupied with the door to the rear of the car, they don't notice you prowling around behind them. One in the back has a shiny key attached to his belt. It must be the key to the dining car because it has dining car stamped into it in letters big enough to read from here. I could grab the key with 50 moxie, but I'm gonna ambush them because I don't want fucking robbers on my goddamn train. Also, yeah, the train burglar. Right, they're all train burglars. But you can see no Susie. Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo. Bill is here, which is nice, but... just because I hate you all, I'm gonna rain some teeth down on you. Those guys have burgled their last train, 189 XP, and the dining car key. Reminds me, how much XP do I have? Ooh, I need to fix that. I'm fast enough, I've got... well, okay, the only thing that's going to do is +1 speed, so that's not worth it. Plus 10 HP is not worth it. +5, but I don't have enough for that. None of these are worth it, so let's see. You know what? Let's get my mysticality up to a full 200. Both of those up to... and just go upgrade that as much as I can. Hooray! 205 and 156 and 156. Not bad. I am... unstoppable. Ladder leading up to the roof. Oh yeah, I can't go that way. So I have to go into the dining car. Ooh, nice flowers. This table didn't deserve flowers. The table looks like it got jostled around in some kind of scuffle, but the flowers are still standing. Door between the dining car and sleeper car is welded shut, so there's no key that I can get for that. It's one of those fancy silver dome things, or it's got one of those fancy silver dome things on it. Investigate. You've never wanted anything more in your life than you want to lift up this dome and see what's under it. But you're not sure you can muster the amount of culinary expertise it requires to properly reveal a dish of such presumed quality. Hey, I've got over 4 times the mysticality needed for that, so let's fucking do it. Et voila! Oh, it's just a fucking cream pie. Shaving cream. What kind of lunatics are running the food service on this train? Get an item, shaving cream pie. Yuck. This is no good to eat, but it's very aerodynamic. So I can't eat. I mean, not that I could even if I wanted to, because I've got 4, or even if the game would let me, because I've got 4 out of 4 stomach capacity. But still. So we meet again, Emperor Norton. La-di-da-di-da. There's Norton. You've got a clear shot at him from here if you want to throw that pie at him. Let's cream pie Norton. Take that. Curses! Curse you, you stupid snipper whapper. He's gone. Oh, you look like a very pleasant fellow, standing here with a knife. Did you stab that Emperor Norton by any chance? Let me climb down. I'm sure there's an explanation. A messily scrawled note. Oh, it must have been written by me, because my dominant hand is currently in a splint, and I am trying to learn how to write with my right hand, which is not great. Read it. The note says, I've hidden the key to the forward passenger car in my luggage to make it easier for me to murder everyone in the sleeper car. Sincerely, the train murderer. P.S. Come to the roof of the sleeper car in the next 55 minutes if you want to murder him. Well, that's just fucking crazy. One of the sleeping compartments must belong to the murderer. Maybe it's this first one? Check inside. Have no fear, Detective Melvin Eastwood is on the case. You open the door to the first passenger compartment. The sole occupant is a little boy about 10 years old, wearing a blue suit and knickerbockers. Oh, hello, sir. Is something wrong? Nothing you need to worry about, kid. I'm on the trail of a bad guy. Do you mean a murderer, sir? I'm pretty sure there's one on this train. They don't call me the world's greatest detective for nothing. Good night, Cody, and I will enjoy the rest of the rest of the train ride, which I think is about the last thing that I've got to do. What's your name, kid? I probably shouldn't say, sir. There might be a copyright thing, so I'm pretty sure that this is some kind of famous kid detective. Maybe? I don't think Encyclopedia Brown wears blue suit and knickerbockers. But it's supposed to be a reference to some kind of famous kid detective. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I can handle this. Just let me ask you one question, then you should lock your door after I'm gone. I understand, sir. What would you like to know? Are you on the roof of the train? Excuse me. Oh, maybe... Does Conan wear blue suit and knickerbockers? I don't know. But, like, the 3 characters that you'll run into here are definitive references to specific people. I think at least 2 of them are fictional. One of them might be an author. I think the last one is an author. I don't know if she's real or fictional, but... yeah, okay. So yeah, this is a reference to Conan, then. Are you on the roof of the train? Excuse me. The murderer left a note saying he's on the roof of the train. Are you? Are you some kind of... No, sir. I'm in my passenger compartment. Right, good. That'll be all. One of the sleeping compartments must belong to the murderer. Maybe it's the second one. This is a... I don't... Hercule Peri something or another. Famous fictional French detective. Is this one. Like, his name is sort of in the back of my head, but I don't remember. Anyway, you open the door to the second passenger compartment and look inside. There's a portly man in a dapper gray suit with a tiny, meticulously waxed mustache, and not, I'd like to clarify, an enormous bushy one. Excusez-moi. Is there some way I might be of assistance, monsieur? Sorry to bother you, but there's a murderer on the loose, and I'm checking the passenger compartments. Sacre bleu! This is very serious, mon ami. Allow me to prefer to you the use of my little gray cells. I have no idea what the fuck that means. But no thank you. Just let me ask you one question. Why, certainly. I am at your service, monsieur. Are you on the roof of the train? The roof of the train, monsieur? Right now? That's right. None. I am here in conversation with you. Oh, of course. Good. That is all. The kid dutifully locked the door when you left. You're pretty sure he isn't the murderer. You already checked that compartment, and you're pretty sure that the foreign guy in there isn't the murderer. Without knowing which piece of luggage the key is in, there's nothing you can do. One of these sleeping compartments must belong to the murderer. Maybe it's the third one. Check inside. You open the door of the third passenger compartment and find nobody inside. Since the note from the murderer said he was going to be on the roof of the train, that means he couldn't be in his passenger compartment. And since there's no one inside this passenger compartment, whoever the compartment belongs to can only, by process of deductimination and elimination, can only be on the roof. Which means the person that rented this compartment must be the murderer. Probably. The only clue you find in here is the luggage ticket, though. It has the number 3 on it. Well, just to be sure, let's check compartment 4. One of these sleeping compartments must belong to the murderer. Maybe it's the fourth one. Check inside. The only passenger to this compartment is a middle-aged woman who's writing something in a notebook. She looks up as you enter and greets you with a friendly northeastern accent. Well, hello. Is there something you need, dear? Sorry to bother you, ma'am. I don't want to alarm you, but there's a murderer on board the train, and I'm investigating. A murderer on a train? My goodness, that would be a wonderful premise for my next novel. Sure, why not? Anyway, I just need to ask you one question. Go right ahead, dear. According to my evidence, the murderer is on the roof of the train. Are you on the roof of the train? No. No, dear. All right, thanks for your time. Would you like a meat pie? They're homemade. No, thanks. Just have a look at this playing card before you go. Goodbye. No, you're pretty sure the lady in there isn't the murderer. Probably. You find bag number 3, and it has the key to the forward passenger car inside. That's very strong corroborating evidence for your theory of who the murderer is. Got an item, passenger car key. All right. Well, with this evidence in hand, there's one other person that I need to ask if he's the train murderer or not. And that would be this strange fellow here up on the roof of the train. Oh hey, it's the train murderer, as advertised. I don't want, like, if I didn't fucking want robbers on my train, I don't fucking want murderers on my train either. The Manifest Destiny Railroad Company did a shit job when they booked people on the seats to this train. They let in bandits, and they let in a fucking murderer. This guy, though... Alright, the train murderer. He certainly got a fuck ton more HP than those bandits did. But, like, I'm a lava father, and he gonna die. Like, that's just not gonna be a problem. You put an end to the train murderer's reign of murder. 63 XP, you rifle through his pockets, they're empty except for his luggage tag. Turns out his tag number 3. So that's the way, because you can't get to this car without the key. So technically you don't need to go talk to those people down there. You can just go beat the shit out of him and you'll find the key. Or you don't really need to beat the shit out of him. You just, solve your little murder thing here and get the key and unlock it. You unlock the door. You finally make it to the passenger car, one car back from the locomotive, which may be confusing if you thought locomotive meant the entire train. So I could just say the engine, except that also refers to the engine itself. That is the actual steam engine that makes the train go, not just the foremost car of the train. Anyway, you're in the passenger car. Suddenly, Norton clambers in the window. He must have dramatically clung to the side of the train in order to reveal at the last minute that he hadn't actually been defeated. Dang it! He runs into the, the foremost car of the train and locks the door. What a jerk. Maybe you could get some of the passengers to help break the door down and arrest him. Or maybe you just kick the door down and shoot him until he can't bother anybody anymore. Up to you. So now we're in the passenger car. And you can see that there are 7 passengers here. A couple of them are going to ignore you, right? This woman just ignores you. This man is too busy ignoring his daughter to not ignore you. You can't do anything with them. But the other 5... Sorry, the other 6. I can count. There's 7 people here. The other 5... No, the other 6. I can count, probably. This professorial-looking guy is frowning at a sheet of paper, occasionally scribbling on it with a pencil, and erasing what he just wrote. Talk to him. Excuse me, can you help me with something? Sorry, I'm busy. Ask my wife. Or my daughter. God knows she could do with something to keep her occupied. What are you working on? Oh, it's quite academic. I'm sure you wouldn't understand. Try me. If you must know, I'm a scholar of foreign antiquities. I'm attempting to resolve this ancient conundrum from the Far East. He shows you a sheet of paper. Hello, Joe! You're just in time for the final showdown. You must know I'm a scholar of foreign antiquities. I'm attempting to resolve this ancient conundrum from the Far East. He shows you a sheet of paper covered with little boxes, some of them which have numbers in them. I've got decidedly more than 50 mysticality, so let's solve them for it. That's a Sudoku. My little brother thinks they're for babies. What? Look, this box can't be a 3 or a 7 because you've got those there and there, so it has to be a 4, which means it's a 5 here and a 9 here, and if that's a 9, this can't be, so it's a 7 and this one's a 2. You quickly fill in the rest of the puzzle. No, damn it, what fun is it if you just solve it for me? Sorry, will you help me break down the door to the engine and arrest the Emperor? Oh, I guess I've got nothing... That's a typo. I guess I've got nothing better to do now. Cool. So she continues to ignore me. This guy is totally franticking. It's a word I just made up that means ranting in a frantic panic. Everyone else is ignoring him as hard as they can. Talk to him. Hey, buddy, you okay? It's a lie! It's all a lie! We're never gonna get to Frisco! Frisco probably doesn't even exist! They've just been testing us to see how long we can survive on complimentary peanuts and bottled water, and now they're driving us into the desert for some kind of government camp. They're gonna use our organs to fuel alien flying machines! Snap them out of it with percussive maintenance. Works just as well on people as it does on elevators. Whap! 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 Wah! Oh, sorry. Yes, I lost it for a second there. Feel better? He rubs his jaw. Well, yes and no. Listen, we're gonna get to Frisco, but first we've got to bust into the locomotive up front and arrest a crazy guy. And I don't mean me, right? I know I'm fucking crazy. But there's a crazier guy in the locomotive up front, and we need to arrest him. I need some volunteers. Okay, I'm in. If I have to sit here doing nothing for much longer, I'll probably flip out again. Cool. This overweight man in a 3-piece suit and bowler hat is probably a banker or something. His eyes are closed and his posture is relaxed, but the clench of his jaw betrays his aggravation. Let's talk to him. Hi, excuse me? Harumph. Yes, what is it? A crazy jerk calling himself Emperor Norton has hijacked the train, and I need volunteers to help me bust down the door and arrest him. I see. And will you help me? No, I'd really rather not. That sounds quite strenuous, perhaps even dangerous. Come on, please. No, I don't think so. I'm quite comfortable here, and I prefer to avoid stress. Pretty please? Again, no. I'm supposed to avoid things that might raise my blood pressure. Pretty please with sugar on top? Sugar is one of those things. Pretty please with gravy on top? Gravy is another. Look, please, just leave me alone. Please, 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 please. No. Please, 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 please. No. Please, 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 please. Stop that. Please, 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 please. I said no. Stop asking. You're really getting on my nerves. Please, please, please. I'll stop asking if you say yes. No, damn it. Please, 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 please. All right, God. Fine. I'll help. Just leave me alone. Thanks. He's managing to stay calm for the time being, but he seems pretty jittery. The ankle-looking guy's face is beet red and he looks furious with you. Hopefully he'll take some of that out on Norton. Professor still looks annoyed with you, but he's ready to help deal with Norton. The woman is focusing on her knitting and ignoring the general commotion. She must have been knitting the whole trip, because the scarf she's made could accommodate a whole marching band. Talk to her. Excuse me, ma'am. Whatever it is, I want no part in it. I keep myself to myself. I have no desire to get involved. Thank you very much. Come on, this is important. A crazy guy stole the train, and I need help arresting him or you'll never get to Frisco. Oh, I'm sure everything will sort itself out in the end, and in the meantime, I have plenty of wool. Appeal to her pride. So let's use Outfoxin 5. Ma'am, is that your daughter? Yes, she is. What about her? What would you like her memory of this absurdly long train ride to be? That her mother was a hero who helped stop the bad guy, or that she sat powerlessly knitting while the menfolk did everything? What sort of role model would you prefer to be? That is tantamount to emotional extortion, young man. It's your choice, ma'am. Ugh. Fine. Okay, good. Woman seems aggrieved about being forced to help with Norton, but she'll get over it once the train finally gets to Frisco. Let's see. This lady is flipping through a book titled Birds of the Western Territory. Since most of the place is desert, it isn't a very long book. Talk to her. Excuse me, ma'am. Yes. A crazed psycho has taken over the train's engine car. I need volunteers to help break down the door and arrest him. Oh my, I certainly couldn't be of any help with that. I'm very conflict averse. What if I told you he hates birds and is determined to outlaw them from the territory after he seizes power? That's very sly, but I know you're only saying that because you saw the book I was reading. Yeah, you got me there. Any other ideas to convince me? Suddenly you hear a tapping at the passenger car window. What the? Russell! You open the window and your pet crow Russell flaps in and perches on your shoulder. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Caw! Oh my gosh, what a beautiful crow! And he knows you? Oh sure, me and Russell go way back. Right, buddy? Caw! I rescued him from a cat when he was only just out of the nest and raised him as a pet. I set him free when I left home recently. But what is he doing here? Has he been following you since then? Probably not, no. No, he probably just happened to be flying by and spotted me on the roof of the train and recognized me. Crows are crazy smart like that. That's amazing. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have an avian friend like that. Well, I'm still going to be doing a lot of traveling after this, I figure, so I can't really drag Russell along with me, but I bet Russell wouldn't mind being pals with a nice lady in Frisco who helped save the train. What do you think, Frisco? What do you think, Russ? Russell caws again and flaps over to perch next to the lady. He lightly pecks at her shoulder in a friendly manner. Caw! Oh my goodness, how could I refuse? It's a pleasure to meet you, Russell. My name's Annabelle. Awesome. I'll let you know when we're ready. Annabelle and Russell seem to be getting along famously. Hiya, Russell. Good to see you again, my friend. This little girl is peering out the window of the train, clearly bored out of her mind. Talk to her. Hi there, busy? No. All my toys and friends are in our luggage. It's boring and I hate it. Do you want to help me out with something really important? Huh? Like what? Well, a bad guy took over the engine car and I need some people to help me break down the door and arrest him. Well, mister, I'm just a little girl. Hey now, that's not a good attitude. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do anything just because you're a girl. But... okay, yeah. We'll bust that crook's face in. Wow, that's the spirit. But you gotta pay me. In advance. Jeez, you're learning a little too fast. Alright, what do you want? I like stuffed animals. A big teddy bear, a big stuffed kitty, or a big plush owl? I'm gonna give her a big stuffed kitty. Wow, she's great. She takes the cat and gives it a big hug. Okay, mister, say the word and we'll show that jerk what for. Awesome. So, to recap, to recruit the passengers on this train, you need 50 mysticality, and that's going to be regardless of what player class you are, because he's always trying to solve a Sudoku. You need percussive maintenance. You need to be persistent. You need, well, either intimidating, hornswoggling, or outfoxing 5. So the intimidating is for cowpunchers, hornswoggling is for snake oilers, and obviously, you know, outfoxing is for beanslingers. So you need that particular skill maxed out for this one. You need to have set Russell free at the very beginning of the game to convince her to join you. If you left Russell in his cage, there is no way to convince her to help you. And then, I believe... Well, so first of all, little girl is ready to spring into action. Norton better be wearing shin guards, because just like a little goblin, she might stab him in the shins. Anyway, for the little girl, you need to win one of the large plushies. So you need either 30 muscle, 30 mysticality, 30 moxie over at the circus, and have already won a ticket to Barnaby Bob's main show. So if you somehow got yourself locked out of the circus without getting a plushie, there's no way to get the little girl recruited. So the way I've been going about this, I was making sure that I'd have everything. So percussive maintenance, you'll recall, you get by either bombing the cellar at Alexandria Ranch and opening it up and getting access to a bunch of books under there, or you can get it from Alexandria's bookstore itself and actually pay her for her book, which would be the nicer thing to do, but saves you some money doing it my way. So yeah, that's how you recruit the passengers in the train. It's the door to the locomotive. Confront Norton. You pound on the door to the locomotive, or engine cab, or whatever. Open up, Norton. No! You stupid snipperwapper! Alright then, I'm coming in. Oh yeah? You and what army, tough guy? Now, granted, you don't need all of the passengers. You need at least 3 passengers. So as long as you've recruited at least 3, you're okay. So if you didn't release Russell, or if you don't have a large plushie, or I think you can get away with 3 smaller plushies, which you get by having, I want to say, 20 muscle, mysticality, or moxie, and not getting the full prize, but you'd need 20 in all of them as opposed to 30 in one. but whichever. Honestly, though, so if you do me in this army, you and all the other passengers that you've recruited burst in, you arrest Norton, and it's a non-violent ending. But where the fuck is the fun in that? So I wanted to show you all how to recruit the passengers, just in case you want to do it that way. Because it's a legitimate way to end the game. Just like giving Norton a crown in Frisco is a legitimate way to end the game. You don't have to have this whole train sequence at all. You could give him your fucking turnip crown, or your gold tooth crown. Right? Again, your gold tooth crown, I'm pretty sure you can have literal multiples of those by grinding up extra gold teeth. So it's not even like you'd be missing out on that. Like, obviously, don't give it to him if you've upgraded it like I did to mine. But, like, you can just avoid this whole train thing by giving Norton a crown. I just didn't feel like it because I like my crowns. Similarly, I did show you how to recruit the passengers, but honestly, it's just gonna be me, you crazy old bastard. Well, me and Buffalo Bill. And you might call yourself Emperor Norton. Jesus, I'm too, like, okay, I wouldn't be able to take him out. Well, okay, even Lava Fava would take him out in one shot, so yeah, no. I want to see what he's gonna do, so I'll just Vampiric Yodel it. No, Vampiric Yodel's gonna stun him. I need something that's not gonna kill him. And will end my turn. I don't have anything like that. I'm too powerful. If Vampiric Yodel didn't stun my opponent, that would be fine. That sucks. Alright, well, we're just gonna Lava Fava into the face then. Because why the fuck not? Uncle! Uncle! You stupid snipper-wapper! Well, that's one way to deal with an antagonistic bureaucrat. Not, strictly speaking, a legal or moral way, but it's hard to argue with success, especially when you're dealing with a crazy old bastard who's poisoned your eyes and kidnapped an entire train. 315 XP. Hooray! And this says the same thing. What do you say, Smee? You did it. Thanks, boss. No problem. We got that track laid right up to the station now. Oop. Now, the first ever cross-territory railroad, thanks to the Manifest Destiny Railroad Company, and, principally, you. You did a real good job, Melvin Eastwood. Ah, shucks, don't mention it. Then with that, the train has finally actually made it to Frisco. This was a one-way train, so there's no sense in going in there now. Well, that sucks. So yeah, it's a one-way train because the tracks, it's just one set of tracks. And you can see it's kind of busy here, and there's actually a new show. Sorry. This town's going to be huge one day, and a train station. I said something about being glad that the Emperor was gone. Anyway, I didn't leave Yovanon back home. You still can't go out further this away. But there is one further thing that I can do. Something at Cluncy's that sharp-eyed individuals may have noticed that I was avoiding. And no, I don't mean the Frisco fracas. It's just, it is something that I was hoping that Dawning Winds would be here for. Because I know she'll get a kick out of it, but alas. I've basically done just about everything that I can do. So, for the last time in the game... Oh boy, another spittoon! Let's go! What's with the excitement there, buddy? I've given up. This is the last spittoon in the game, and I'm not going to try to convince you not to be the most disgusting person on Earth anymore. Let's go! Let's do this! Yeah! Search that filthy spittoon! You kneel down on the floor and throw your arms around the spittoon, giving the greasy brass bucket a great big hug. How about a kiss? Would you like to kiss it? You know it, baby. You pucker up and give the spittoon a great big kiss right on the rim. Is there tongue involved? Well, I'll leave that up to you. But even without it, it tastes like a burning horse. I love it. I know you do, friend. And if it were legal in this country, I'd let you marry that spittoon and have a beautiful romantic honeymoon night with it. But unfortunately, you're going to have to settle for wearing it as a hat. Yes, please! You flip that beautiful brass bucket over and slap it onto your head, drenching yourself in hot brown tobacco spit. It washes down over your face and hair like a sewage waterfall, soaking your clothes and running down your collar and slithering into your underwear and filling your boots. I can't even force myself to describe it in any more detail than that. You are the world's foulest human being. Congratulations, you got an item. Spittoon hat. Hooray! Behold the fifth and unofficial crown in the game, the spittoon hat. This is a spittoon hat, which is to say, it is a spittoon that you have turned upside down and placed on top of your head. +6 mysticality, +11 spell damage means that it is advantageous for a beanslinger. So, excellent. But alas, you can get to Cluncy's before you deal with Norton, right? I showed that earlier today. Alas, this doesn't technically count as a crown. I wouldn't give it to him even if it did. I wish that it still said spit on it, but you unfortunately can't see that. Also, I think in the original computer version, it was actually I think it actually animated to show it dripping, which it doesn't seem to do that here, which is a little disappointing. Like, I'm sad that it's not showing the spittoon dripping. I guess they needed to edit that for the Switch version. Alright, let's beat the shit out of some more Frisco thugs, though. My spittoon hat. Oh! And I do need to up that counter, don't I? So the final number of spittoons in the game is 8. And from them you get one hat, namely the spittoon hat, the revoltant brooch as your lapel embellishment, the befouled pistol as a gun, Blechscalibur as the weapon, what is it? The filthy porcelain cow for your offhand thing, the nasty ring for the ring, spit-soaked pants as the pants, and spit-soaked boots as the boots. So I think I missed increasing that count once, so because there should be 9. Yeah, I don't remember if I increased the count with the one at Gun Manor. But the one at Gun Manor technically counts, so the final count is 9. Now, the one at Gun Manor is a troll. Right? It's squeaky clean, so you get nothing out of it. But just for the heck of it, and just because I feel like it for the remainder of the game, which is not going to be too long, let's just equip all of the spittoon items. Now, I will say, there is a perk that you will get if you make it all the way to Frisco without touching a spittoon. God, my stats dropped stupidly low with all of that, but I got it. All of my spittoon items. Hooray. We'll do a couple of fights like that. But if you do make it to Frisco, there is, without touching a spittoon, there is a perk that you get as a result. It means that you can't get the nasty ring, and it also means, wow, my stats were so low that they let the guy survive. And I took damage. You know what, buddy? You're gonna yodel, odel, odel, obey me. What was I saying? You won't be able to get the nasty ring, because that's the one in the prologue and in the bar at Boring Springs, and you'll never be able to go back there and get it. And you won't be able to get the spittoon hat. Because... But you will be able to go back and get every single other spittoon item. But because it's predicated on you not being filthy when you get here, it's assumed that you... I survived by 1. That's kind of funny. It's predicated that you do not get the spittoon hat. So, unfortunate, but such is life. Alright, I'm going back to my actual good equipment. But I just wanted to do that at least once because it was kind of funny. Mrs. Gunn's Opus. Then I've got... Where did I put that? Stainless steel bean pan. What did I have in my offhand? I don't even remember what I had in my offhand. Oh, right, the diamond ring, right? No, that was the ring that I had on, right? The huge diamond ring was my ring, but I don't remember what offhand item I had. Might have been the large plush owl. No, it was... probably the Gunmanor rifle token. Yeah, if I had to guess, it was the gunman or rifle token. The ring was definitively the huge diamond ring, though. And then as much as I hate them, the pants were those disgusting 8-legged pants. I'm half tempted to just switch him for the El Vibrato pants, but it's not worth it. Alright. Tony's shiny boots. Excellent. Much better. My stats are back to normal. Before I finish up in Frisco, though, I'm going to stop by Dirtwater one more time, just again, to check in with everybody there, and I won't say goodbye, but just to remind y'all of what we did to make Dirtwater a better place. And also, to feed Yandere-chan the apple and the carrot. So, everything's taken care of here at the Jewel Saloon. Got some laudanum for Ellsbury. Ellsbury tells you the tale of a philosopher who takes a magical boat to a distant windswept metropolis inhabited by giant machines. Something about that story. You really lost yourself in it. Thank you, Ellsbury. I don't think I got any more. Oh no, I do have more. Where do I keep getting all this laudanum? Ellsbury tells his tale about a nightmarish, humid monastery where tiny cats wage an eternal war against barbaric automatons. Something about that story. You really lost yourself in it. Where do I keep getting this laudanum? Because I know I didn't have all of this earlier. Ellsbury tells you a tale of a long-forgotten frigid forest where hyper-intelligent wizards hunt and eat maniacal scholars. Oh god, I'm Maniacal Engineer. They're gonna eat me. Wait, I'm not a scholar. Ellsbury tells you the tale of a woman who gets kidnapped and taken to a distant undersea catacomb inhabited by ethereal skeletons. No more medicine. I'm sorry, buddy. But we did help out in the kitchen, right? We helped him with all of his tasks. We helped out with the piano player here. Lloyd over here's got nothing else for me to do. Spruced up the guest room, kinda, right? We got the arcane oven. Honestly, the whisk is going to be better than what I've got currently. Stop forging. Immaculate beans. Mirror beans sounds fun, but I think we're done here. I do think that bean iron whisk is probably better. The tines of this whisk slide through the very nature of reality, mixing it up and making it all fluffy. Ooh, that's fun. Might be better than the weapon that I currently have equipped. I don't really care. We've got the arcane oven. We've got the note from Curly Butterfield. We've got the lava lamp. We've got the strange portrait of myself. There's not really terribly much that I can put in this room, but I still made it my own. Or, well, mine and Susie's. Finished up at Gun Manor, right? So I can take this back to Gun Manor. But there's really nothing else for me to do there. Right? All of the ghosts are gone. And I bought everything worth buying in the gift shop. I rescued all the employees. I battled and beaten the hedge wizard. So I don't think there's anything else for me to do here. Which is fine. Other than say goodbye to Florence, because she's apparently still hanging out there. No more packages from Rufus, I suppose. We got all the criminals in jail. So the House in the Desert gang, the Stripey Hat gang, the Potemkin gang, the Black Hat Bandits, and the Gherkin brothers. Nothing else to do there. We got Hot Dog, Liquid Bread Brew & Co., Grady's Fine Leather, Tony's Boots, Murray's Curiosity and Bean, and Alexandria's Books. So there's all 6 of the shops. Over doubling the size of the town compared to what we had currently. I don't think there's anything left here for me to buy, right? No quest items. Nah. And we do have all of the members of the Jewel Saloon. Nope, not the kitchen. I went too soon. Alright, so all 5 members of the band and then the extra cowbell. Actually sounds pretty good. So you got washboard guitar, banjo, jaw harp, and boopin' machine. So that's Dirtwater. We took care of the shenanigans at Danny's Tannery. And we helped out the professor as much as we possibly could with his El Vibrato stuff. We found Butterfield Ranch and Curly Butterfield's treasure. We helped out at the rescue mission with all of the relics. We are going to the circus. With a shout, well, more of a loud hiss, a skeleton leaps at you from the underbrush, wearing a cavalry hat, has a cavalry saber, but isn't riding a cavalry horse. The producer is the main thing that differentiates cavalry from infantry, if that's the only thing. Question is designation. Hold on there just a minute, soldier. What's an infantry soldier doing wearing a cavalry hat? Hiss, chatter. What kind of fool do you take me for? Cavalry soldiers ride horses. That's what cavalry means. If you're cavalry, where's your horse? ... That's what I thought. Give me that hat, soldier. You can have it back when I see you riding a horse. Skeleton glumsily turns over his hat and marches away. Old cavalry hat and 16 XP. Well, that's nice. We befriended Barnaby Bob. I'm going to turn in my last cow-killing items to him for a little last-minute extra meat. Doesn't affect my ending because I didn't go for the fame and fortune, but extra meat's never a bad thing. We took over for the necromancer. And now his throne is my throne. So I can go into the Necromancer Tower. I should really change that password. Oh, I can also drink my blood. Which, by the way, you can drink that blood even if you haven't got the Necromancer powers. It's just that you won't be able to read these things. They'll be indecipherable. You sit in your throne. Laugh some more. Laugh some more. Stop laughing at me. It's not funny anymore. But yeah, no. You can't do that if you just defeat the Necromancer, unfortunately. Because sitting in that throne and laughing is hilarious. But yeah, I really need to change the password on that thing. We have trapped Duke Bovicus in the Hellstorm Ranch using that cow's bane. We completed the tasks over at Fort Unnecessary. We also got Roberto contained by activating the Roberto containment fields in Curious False Mountain and Curious Flat Plain, and then activating the containment device in the Deepest Delve mine. We discovered Hab Holloway, which was also where we got Curly's meat from. We united Olive Garden and Cactus Bill, who are now happily married. Met Dr. Morton and finished all of her tasks. So now the final thing to do is go to Frisco and see what's left. Oh yeah, and we got all of the spittoon items. Because why the fuck wouldn't we? Now playing the final cutscene. Looks like somebody on that train got a job as a projectionist. Would you like to watch this movie? It's free because movies have only recently been invented and nobody's figured out that they can charge for them yet. Note: doing this will not change anything about the world or your character. When the cutscene is over, you'll still be right here and you can keep playing if you want. So do note that, well, this technically shows you what your progress is in the game currently. If there is unfinished business, it's not going to finish the game for you. You'll still be able to pop out of the movie theater and finish your unfinished business and then go watch an updated cutscene later. It still feels wrong, at least to me, to watch the cutscene before you're done with the game, or at least about as done with the game as you're gonna get. So yeah, sure. Show me that final cutscene, baby. Some folks say endings don't matter. But other folks, they like to know how things turn out, the consequences of their actions, like. With the trains running again, Frisco thrived. People came from all over to seek their fortunes. Thanks to you, they didn't have to do it while on fire because some cow attacked their wagon. So you see, Frisco's actually a somewhat thriving metropolis. You got a bunch of people walking around, you got horse-drawn trolley of sorts, the early bus or what have you, public transportation, and this is letting the video go further into the city than I could go, because I wasn't able to go this far down in the city and see all these nearly identical houses. With the railroad completed and Norton ousted, Smee found himself out of a job but in of an opportunity. After being elected mayor, he managed the growth and infrastructure of Frisco with compassion and pragmatism. In 1944, Frisco was named Most Reasonable City by the Tuesday Evening Post. Now, if you gave Norton a crown, he would still be in charge, so Smee wouldn't become mayor, and then which crown you gave him would affect how Frisco turned out as a city. If you gave him the turnip crown, Frisco would basically end up being a city full of goofballs and goobers and things like that. If you gave him the gold crown, he'd become wealth-obsessed and basically change the dome on the Capitol building or the mayor's office to solid gold. If you gave him the El Vibrato crown, Frisco would become a technological metropolis, or an advanced technological metropolis, and that the mayor's office would have El Vibrato tech on it. If you gave him the necromancer's crown, first of all, it wouldn't be the actual, the game would treat it as though you were giving him the item, but you'd actually be giving him a replica of the crown. So, he'd basically go Dark Lord and evil while you were manipulating him from the shadows, and you'd see that, there'd be a bunch of bones, and Frisco would be like a dark and evil city. But as it stands with Smee in charge, none of that really happens, and Frisco just becomes a fairly reasonable city. The idea of... So obviously then this part will depend on which partner you have. The idea of city life didn't appeal to Susie much. After you and she parted ways, she moved down the peninsula a ways and settled a Cow's Bane farm. Still fighting the good fight in her way, as one would expect from Susie. And yeah, you can see she's actually growing Cow's Bane. Don't think she'd ever get remarried or have more kids, though, which is unfortunate. But oh well. Thanks to you, so obviously this only shows up if you have the DLC. Thanks to you, Gun Manor reopened and delighted tourists for centuries. The residual positive psychic energy created by the ghosts you helped leaked into the local water supply. In decades to come, the businesses that sprang up near the manor were characterized by their environmentally friendly policies and charitable giving. So obviously, I assume there's more of a negative outcome there if you violently myrtleized the ghosts. So this is nice, although that one person with the glasses kind of looks like Felicity Wainwright, the lawyer, and I'm pretty sure she's dead, so that's a little concerning. Yeah, that looks like Felicity Wainwright, except alive. Which is, I mean, I get it. There's only so much they have as far as stick figure art and facial expressions, and people just walking back and forth for no reason. After she finished getting the bakery boys up and running, Louise moved to Frisco and opened up her own shop specializing in artisanal breads and pies. Unfortunately, after some unknown vandal, General Gob, kept breaking in at night and destroying all of the pies, she had to switch to a breads-only business model. So if you help Louise at the Lazy A-Dude Ranch and you send her to the bakery boys, she'll move to Frisco and set up her own shop there. And it's going to be bread and pies. if you didn't send General... Well, if you either killed General Gob or left him at Fort Cowardice, that would be it, right? She'd have a shop of breads and pies, but if you assisted General Gob and told him that there are other pies out there, he will go and continue committing his violence against pies and be an unknown vandal and shoot Louise's pies. Which, you know what? Louise still survives well enough and is decidedly happier than when she was stuck at the Lazy A Dude Ranch. So the fact that she sells only bread and not pies, and General Gob is happy because he got to kill more pies, and now there are no more, I think we can all live with that. Goblins deserve a happy ending, too. Thanks to your assistance, Hobart Boopert got the photography bug. Or should we say the photography owl. Anyway, he opened an art gallery so the citizens of Frisco would never again have to suffer from the inability to see pictures of owl skeletons whenever they wanted. So helping out Hobart Boopert get his picture of the owl skeleton from the pet cemetery gives you this. And it's a museum with basically just nothing but pictures of owl skeletons in various poses. You do you, Hobart. You do you. Kurtz left the Fort of Darkness and set up in Frisco. His cult, fitness group skyrocketed in popularity. The growth was entirely due to word of mouth, because the first rule of Kurtz Fits is that you cannot stop talking about Kurtz Fits. So if you ran into Kurtz and you exercised with him up at the Fort of Darkness, this will happen. Kurtz till it hurts. No Kurtz pain, no Kurtz gain. And yeah, he does have a lot more students now in Frisco. Oh, hey. Okay. So this actually does show up, even though I didn't save the cult leader. Alright. The cultists you rescued eventually joined a different cult, but the new one is quite a bit safer than the old one, since it's mostly about annoying people on the streets instead of unearthing ancient evil destructors. So you'll see now they're wearing triangle hats instead of circle hats. I thought since I didn't save the cult leader, this wouldn't happen, but apparently it happened anyway. Hooray! Hooray for the Triangle Hat Gang, or the Triangle Hat cult. With your help, the professor gained enough knowledge about El Vibrato technology to start building his own. He opened a very successful consumer technology store in Frisco, and for decades people spent all their time staring at little computers in their hands instead of talking to one another. So technology just came much sooner. Helping the professor might not have been the smartest move. But I believe you get this if you sent the professor at least, or if you gave the professor at least 2 devices. The one from the Dutch oven mine, and the other one from the Curious Abandoned Well. So you got the El Vibrato battery fabricator and the El Vibrato combat or device fabricator from the professor. The performers you sent to Dirtwater formed the greatest band in the history of music. The perfect union of percussion, strings, and technology, they immediately secured their place in the cultural history of loathing. Their songs were innovative, their stage presence was spectacular, and the linear notes on their albums were extremely clever and interesting. They called themselves the Aristocrats. So depending on the number of band members you got, this will change. Because I got all 5, I got the best outcome. Oop. You tell him, Dootin' Machine. Bootin' Dootin' Machine. All right. Buffalo Bill retired from the killing trade and made a killing opening up a restaurant in Frisco. He's got buffalo, wild wings. So obviously you get this if you reanimate Buffalo Bill from the buffalo pile. You solved... Okay, so obviously number of problems you solve in Breadwood affects this. You solved all of Breadwood's problems. With the increase in morale and civic resources, they were able to clear the weeds from the road and fix the well and the broken hitching post. There was even enough left over to give the mayor's office a new coat of paint, refresh the facade on the Buttery Biscuit, and add a second story to the bunkhouse. They even managed to get that horse into rehab. So you can see it looks a lot nicer now. Breadwood Mayor, the well's fixed up, the hitching post is fixed, the Buttery Biscuit's freshly painted, the bunkhouse has that second story, and the horse is no longer drunkenly walking around on two legs. Olive Garden and Cactus Bill lived happily ever after. A wandering band of goblins found that El Vibrato weather machine you unearthed and formed a cult around it. Due to the increased rainfall, both Olive's garden and her marriage were extremely prolific. So yes, activating that weather device helped you get an even happier ending for Olive Garden and Cactus Bill. And you can see, boy, it really is prolific. How many kids do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids! Good Lord. Those two got busy. And like 3 of them are cactus human hybrids. The other 3 are fully human. I don't even want to think about how they... Because that's got to be very prickly. Chuck continued to run his blood and breakfast without incident, accident, scandal, or allegation for many years. So obviously, this you get if you discover our buddy Chuck, which you would find specifically by helping Breadwood with its postal problems. So if you solved all of Breadwood's problems, you'll see this as well. You won 4 of the reenactment scenarios at Fort Memoriam, which was 4 out of 4. They still talk about you. Remember when that Melvin fella came through here? Yeah, he was really good at this game. Do we have any more root beer? The nerds. With your help, Roy Bean's Jelly Bean Museum became the talk of the town. Well, first they had to build a town nearby, but once they did, hoo-wee! So helping out Roy Bean with his jelly beans gets you this outcome. Plus, like I said, that also reduces the cost of his Paraguayan murder bee jelly bean from 6,000 meat to 5 meat. So it's worth your time both because of that in-story, in-story benefit and for the little extra nice bit in the cutscene. Or in the end cutscene. Dirtwater became, relatively speaking, a thriving metropolis. So this depends on a couple of things. So this depends on how many stores you got to Dirtwater. This depends on whether you took a room at the Jewel Saloon or not, because you might not have. And then the last thing this depends on is whether or not you became the Necromancer. So, the first part, Dirtwater became, relatively speaking, a thriving metropolis. Thanks to your efforts as a commerce ambassador and all-around helpful stranger, the once sleepy town became a shining oasis in a barren land. Every man, woman, and child in town knew your name. That's the best outcome for getting all 6 of the shops there. They even put up a little plaque with your name on it in your old room at the Jewel. So that assumes that you got the room at the Jewel Saloon. The little did they know is if you become the necromancer, right? Because they only know you as an all-around helpful stranger and a commerce ambassador. They don't know that you're secretly an evil necromancer. So this is nice. A lot of new people here in Dirtwater. Doesn't actually show you the street of Dirtwater, though, just the Jewel Saloon. But hell of a lot more people hanging out there than there were. There's old Ellsbury in the background, hopefully a little happier now. I think that's Murray talking to him, which makes sense. The two of them really would get along fairly famously. As for you, after your adventure, you settled in Frisco and bought a very long, very narrow house. You filled it with souvenirs of your exploits and started an antique hat rack collection. When you left home, you told Rufus you wanted adventure and excitement. So this part, obviously, depends on what you told Rufus you wanted when you left. So if you told him you wanted to help people, the more people that you help, the better your outcome. If you told him that you were seeking your fortune, the more money you end the game with, the better it's going to be. And if I told him, in my case like I did, that I wanted adventure and excitement, the more places that you visit, the better your outcome is going to be. So I think it's, if you visited 70 plus places for me, I've got the best possible outcome. Because again, you visited a staggering 76 places on your journey. You're just about as well traveled as they come, and they come from all over. So here's my house, and you'll see I've got the barely enchanted hat, the bear's hat, the fake Pope hat, I think that's the really nice cowboy hat, the prototype Stetson, the turnip crown, the gold tooth crown, the El Vibrato crown, and you can see some of the stuff in the background is my arcane oven, my infinite grains. I've got the yeast-covered hat, the hat sack that I got from the guy at Lazy A Dude Ranch, and of course my spittoon hat. I've got my own little vanity. I've got, the portrait of Gun Manor is in the back over there. A toilet, lots of books, and my own pie safe. I wish that I could scroll through here. Alright, so the next button. In 1906, all of the remaining cows in the West were simultaneously activated by some kind of signal from hell. They thundered east, forming a gigantic, single-minded herd. Fortunately, since you somehow managed... So, first of all of that happens no matter what. The next part is because I managed to do what I did. Fortunately, since you somehow managed to trap Duke Bovicus on this side of the ground and cleanse yourself of your bovine blood taint, the army of cows had nobody to lead them. They thundered east in a chaotic mess. Jeez, look at all those cows. I killed a lot of them, but I couldn't kill all of them. The disorganized herd never even made it to a human settlement. Now, depending on what you did or did not do, there will be other possible things that happen here. If you didn't manage to trap Duke Bovicus, or you let him go and didn't trap him again, but you didn't destroy the circus, the clowns will show up and they'll fight the demon cows and beat them and then disappear, but like everyone in Dirtwater's scarred for life. If you didn't capture Duke Bovicus and you blew up the circus using the army from Fort Aldead, the cows would make it to Dirtwater, and depending on the number of buildings you put in there, right, the number of stores you put in there, they would either completely destroy Dirtwater or do some damage to Dirtwater, but it will be able to be rebuilt. Obviously, neither of those are ideal outcomes. This is the ideal outcome. Now, if you still had Cowruption, when the cows were activated, you would join them in their stampede. This is whether or not Duke Bovicus was captured. So cleanse yourself of that Cowruption using the Kellogg method. Darn it. Thanks to your cleverness, the world is not destroyed 420 years later. On the contrary, it remains undestroyed for millennia. Future generations don't know that they should thank you, but they definitely should. So this tells me that I completed the Roberto containment, so the El Vibrato quest. We never actually see Roberto, we just contain Roberto. Thank you for playing. So that's it. To my knowledge, I'm pretty sure I got the best ending. So I do have to say, credit goes to all of the people who came up with this game. They've done a fantastic job, and it really is a great game with a lot more depth to it than you would think. First of all, just by looking at the aesthetic. And second of all, just by looking at the game itself, right? There is a fuck ton to do. And there's so many things that you don't even know that you have to do. And, you know, major tasks, major story arcs and whatever, that you can completely and totally gloss over and not even know it, or accidentally lock yourself out of for one reason or another. But that's it. All right? I really don't think that there's much of anything else that I can do to make my ending any better than it was. I don't believe that there's any further locations that I haven't been to. Certainly none that I am explicitly aware of. And I think that's going to do it for West of Loathing. It's been a fun series. It really has. I wasn't sure. I mean, obviously I knew it wasn't going to be as long as Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. But I wasn't sure how long it was going to be because, and again, I didn't know how long it would take to do some of the things, and I've never streamed it before. So, you know, I've never kind of figured out how much time it's going to take or things are going to be or what have you. But, and again, I think that as a result of this, I am going to be ending a little bit early today. Not too early, right? I managed to squeeze almost my full 4 hours worth of content out of this last stream. But yeah, no, that's going to do it. Like I said, I really don't think that there's much else that I can do to make the ending any better than I got it. So, I will be ending things off here. If you only caught part of tonight's stream, you can check out the full stream as well as all of my other content over on my YouTube channel over there. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to catch me live on Twitch, you can catch me live on Twitch over there. I go live Monday evenings and Wednesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Monday evenings are Ace Attorney 3, Wednesday evenings have been West of Loathing, but because of the conclusion of West of Loathing, starting next week will be its sequel, Shadows Over Loathing, which is another game that I am looking forward to streaming and telling you about the major differences between West of Loathing and Shadows Over Loathing. So that's, like I said, going to start next week. I do still need to figure out a first name for my character there. As MCH mentioned earlier, we did come up with, or he came up with, a fairly good last name. Obviously, the initials have to be NE. This is a game that is going to be set in the late 1920s, so Prohibition era. I'll think of something, but it's going to be a fun game to play. And I'll try to point out as many of the differences and things that I can between different player classes, because unlike, well, okay, bit of a spoiler, unlike this game where your player class just basically only affects your moves and your abilities and things like that, your player class actually matters a little bit more as far as the story goes in Shadows Over Loathing. But it's more for next week. Anyway, you can also find me before that on the Bulba Garden Twitch channel over there. I usually stream Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. U.S. Central Time. I am currently streaming Pokemon Y, a fairy-type challenge run of that game, and hating every moment of it. Other streamers that you can find on the Bulba Garden channel include Dawning Winds and Dapper Cody. So Dapper Cody, who rated us today, he streams Wednesday evenings and is doing Detective Pikachu 2. You can also find Dawning Winds, and you can find her on her own Twitch channel over there. She streams Sunday evenings and Tuesday evenings. You can also find CapsFan, whom I believe we will be rating in just a moment or two. So I'm not going to link his channel because it's kind of silly if I'm rating it. So alright, I believe that's going to do it for me for this evening. So to the one person currently watching, stick around as I raid the CapsFan. So, as always, I am Maniacal Engineer, and I'm never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Thank you all for watching, and God bless this mess. I'll see you all next week.